Hello, everyone. I'm JustHearMeowt. Welcome to my channel. The Brian Walshe trial has finally started. And if you don't have time to watch 8 hours of court each day, then this live session is for you because you'll get everything you could want or need right here in less than a quarter of the time. If you don't know who Brian Walshe is, he's a moron who's on trial for the murder of his wife, Anna, who disappeared on New Year's Day, January 2023. Now you might ask, well, how do we know she's dead if she was never found? Well, she wasn't found because Brian dismembered her body and got rid of it in local area dumpsters. And that's not an allegation. He literally changed his plea to guilty on the charges related to lying to the police and dismembering her body just a few weeks before the trial began. But Brian is adamant that while he might have cut up his dead wife's body, he did not murder her. Of course, this is somewhat hard to believe, not just because of the dismemberment, but because this genius used his son's iPad to Google searches such as, quote, can he be charged with murder without a body, end quote, quote, best way to dispose of body parts after a murder, and other searches related to the removal of DNA evidence, etc. I really can't wait to see what the defense comes up with. Hello, everyone. I'm JustHearMeowt. Welcome to my channel. It's day 2 of the Brian Walshe
that was the wrong
trial.
intro.
We
Here's
get our
the right
first
one.
cross-examination by the defense, which instantly turned the entire case on its head. Oh, wait, it didn't. We also get the full details of the Google searches, which somehow turn out to be even more incriminating than we previously knew. But let's see what kind of damage control the defense can do. And if you don't have time to watch 8 hours of court each day, then this live session is for you because you'll get everything you could want or need right here in less than a quarter of the time. If you don't know who Brian Walshe is, he's a moron who's on trial for the murder of his wife, Anna, who disappeared on New Year's Day, January 2023. Now you might ask, well, how do we know she's dead if she was never found? Well, she wasn't found because Brian dismembered her body and got rid of it in local area dumpsters. And that's not an allegation. He literally changed his plea to guilty on the charges related to lying to the police and dismembering her body just a few weeks before the trial began. But Brian is adamant that while he might have cut up his dead wife's body, he did not murder her. Of course, this is somewhat hard to believe, not just because of the dismemberment, but because this genius used his son's iPad to Google searches such as, quote, can he be charged with murder without a body, end quote, quote, best way to dispose of body parts after a murder, and other searches related to the removal of DNA evidence, etc. I really can't wait to see what the defense comes up with on this one. And of course, before we begin, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, this is a commentary channel meant to entertain and enlighten and inform, which means, of course, I will be pausing and talking during the video. And if you do enjoy what you see here, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of the fun. Make sure to check out the different playlists in the description of this video about the different subjects we cover, such as Sarah Boone, Lauren Armstrong, Diane Downs. The list is getting bigger every day. Basically, if they're an idiot and a criminal, we're going to cover them. So hello to everyone who's here with us live in the chat, and hello to the replay crew. Please remember to hit the like button so we can avoid all unnecessary situations that would follow. All right, let's go. Everyone, sorry for that little mix-up at the beginning. I was like, wait a minute, this is the wrong one. Did I not upload it? Welcome to night 2. We've got Suma here again. Hello,
Hi.
Suma.
Hi.
And as I mentioned last night, Suma is live streaming the trial every day, so go ahead and check her out. And if it gets boring, she always throws in other fun stuff.
Yeah. Talk about something else.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. This one had a lot of editing because there's a lot of repetition from the prosecutor on the, do you want this page? Do you want this page? Blah, blah, blah. But just as a reminder, the interviews that I leave out, the recording, there's a second part of part 3. It will be posted in the description of this video if you want to see it. Chapters will be added afterwards, and there's always going to be a live recap each day that there is trial. So, let's go ahead and get it started. We get a nice shot of Mrs. Brian's mom here. Just look how much she looks like Brian.
Matriarch.
It looks like Brian with a wig.
Identical.
Her nose looks flatter, but other than that,
He may have had something done to it. It doesn't
Maybe.
look like it necessarily, but it's possible. Very
the
possible.
exact same face almost.
Identical. It's amazing.
And this is sped up. She's not blinking like a
Crazy person. Like
crazy
Sarah.
person. Yeah. I think this is about 3 more seconds here. That hair isn't doing it for me.
No, a little
just looks
blush never killed anyone, lady.
All right, here we go. So we're picking up with yesterday. They just played the second half of the third interview, and prosecution's still talking to Detective Schmidt.
So, Sergeant, a couple questions about that interview. There's mention of an application Viber. Could you tell us what that is?
And the speed is going to be 150% throughout this as a base. Let me know if it's too fast. I think it still works, and it's the only way to get through this without it taking all night.
Do you know?
It's a messaging application.
And there's also mentioning of WhatsApp. Do you understand what that is?
Yes, that's also a communication app.
There was mentioning of a person named Abdullah. Do you know his name?
Yes, Dula Al-Matari,
And what is his relationship to Anna Walsh?
a previous coworker from the hospitality industry,
There was also mention of Peter Kirby. What is his relationship to the Walshes?
a family friend.
During the interview, a dog can be heard barking. Where was the dog located in the home?
In the crates in that sunken in family room.
And you had the opportunity to be at the home a few times between the 4th and the 7th. What issues did you ever have with the dog?
None.
There was also mention of the pool today. What was going on at the pool that day?
During that wide-scale search, we had drained the pool to get a better look at it.
Now, after January 6th, when the Cohasset Police Department had a press conference, what happened to your voicemail and email?
I was inundated with messages and tips from the public.
Why is it that your voicemail and email were inundated?
I was the point of contact for any information, so my department email and phone were listed and disseminated to the news and social media.
And was Richard Walker email one of those things that came into you after that press conference?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Gilman, could we have what was marked yesterday as Exhibit 44? Sir, do you recognize Exhibit 44?
Yes.
And where is this in relation to the house?
If you're standing in the backyard with the house to your rear, you'd be looking at like the back right corner of the fenced-in portion of the yard. That's the
I didn't even know it was a pool. I thought it was like one of those like ponds, like where you put kelp fish or like a decorative pool.
shed.
What's on the other side of the fence?
Koi pond,
Neighboring
Yeah, koi pond. Yeah, not kelp.
house.
you meant.
Now, and Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 47 from yesterday? Sir, do you recognize this?
Yes.
This is the what you.
I'm sure this is all good and fine. I had one critique of this. Could you put a smaller picture of the missing person on your little flyer?
How much information is written there? It's like, how about a few pictures, you know?
How about you blow it up so her face is nice and big, and then you put a little white box with the text, the important information down below it.
Right. Or, you know, they could fit a row of pictures there. They didn't have to just do one.
You said was the missing poster you created?
Correct.
Now, what information? Where did you get the information to create this poster?
I made this on Thursday, so I had the information from the patrol report, the NCIC missing persons form, and the information from the first interview with the defendant.
Thank you. If you could take that down, Ms. Gilman. And when you were speaking to the defendant, what did you learn as far as Anna Walsh's maiden name or prior names?
There was a previous name of a NIP, K-N-I-P-P, and a maiden name of Lubitschek.
Now, after that interview on the 7th, what did you do next as far as your investigation?
We continued to reach out to friends and family, gather more background information.
And on the 8th, what did you do in the morning?
We briefed at Cohasset Police Station a plan to execute a search warrant,
And where were you going to execute the search warrant?
516 CJC Highway,
What time did you have the opportunity to execute the search warrant?
around 9 a.m.
And so when you executed the search warrant, who was with you?
Myself, I believe Chief Quigley, the day shift for patrol, the state police detectives, crime scene. I believe that was it.
And who was at the house when you executed the search warrant?
The defendant and his children, and Diana Walsh, the mother.
And what did you do with those people in order to execute the search warrant?
We reached out to Attorney Minor, and she came to the scene, and they all left with Attorney Minor.
Now, did you ever have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Walsh again on January 8th of 2023?
Yes.
Where did that conversation take place?
Attorney Minor's residence in Situate.
And who was present for that conversation?
Attorney Minor, myself, Trooper DeChico, Trooper Proctor, the defendant, and his children were in the other room.
So we are going to listen to this interview because I think it's a little bit easier to hear. And this is where they confront him with the stuff they found on his phone.
Have you had the opportunity to review a recording of that?
Yes.
And does that fairly and accurately depict
Or his devices.
the defendant's statements in that interview?
Yes.
Your Honor, Commonwealth will proceed to have this marked as the next exhibit, which today I believe is 62.
Any additional objections beyond the ones I previously heard?
No, Your Honor.
The 1/8/23 audio will be marked and is now in evidence as Exhibit 62. And for the record, for those of you keeping track over there, the jump is as a result of the following.
Could somebody explain to me, this is a side question, Robin might know, or somebody, the person that's always speaking in the thing, I see that sometimes in trial, what is she doing? Is she just, it's not translating it, right? Because,
This?
yeah, why wouldn't she just record the audio?
She's talking into it in such a way that it types it for her.
Oh, she's the stenographer.
Yeah.
Okay, they just got rid of the keyboard
It's
thing.
a way to make stenographers look even more awkward.
Got it.
Yeah.
And why don't they give her a little strap? You imagine your arm get tired, I don't know, or some hooks.
I have a lot of questions about this whole situation.
Okay. All right, so we're fast
Your
forwarding
Honor, with court's
to...
permission, may Commonwealth play exhibit 62.
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Jones?
11:13 on Sunday the 8th. Lance Harrison Schmidt, I'm a detective in Cohasset Police.
Trpr Michael Proctor, Norfolk County DA's office.
David Trpr, Norfolk DA's office.
Tracy Reinhardt, attorney for Brian.
So we're here at, I think 244 Gannett Road in Situate. Did you say the time?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. So yes, the last time we spoke was yesterday, and I think we asked you to give us a good account of where you went when you left your house on the 1st. Anything was that you got to visit your mom, went out, ran a few errands for Whole Foods, CVS, and thank you, Pam. You told us that the Whole Foods was across from the house, and your mom was in Paradise Lane, and the CVS was abandoned. Where did CVS abandoned?
No, sorry, maybe like,
Yeah, the audio stuff.
on I used to visit there.
What road would that be?
By Cafe View, Prospect.
Yeah, I did.
It basically says he went to CVS and that's all he did.
What did you purchase there?
It's probably the alcoholic wipes or the other wipes.
Which is a lie.
Okay, and the method painted?
Okay.
And the time that you were there?
7?
Oh, 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking for how to control it.
Okay.
Because
Well, we know that you got back to Cohasset by 8.
After left, right? Yes.
It's not an exact science, but like a general estimation.
Before 7, most likely, it was get dark out several lights.
Was it dark when you got there?
Yeah.
It was. Okay, before 6:30?
I go.
Okay,
So I
so
could have been at 6:30.
did you go anywhere else other than that CVS and Dan?
I was on the bus sometime in the whole booth.
Maybe you went there,
Earlier. Yeah. That's why I've been going to the ball game. Every time I go, my mother asks me to get tough off and kids every week. And I get some.
and on the 2nd, the only place you went was the press. On the 2nd, like, can I have a look at it? Check shows, the press. Right, he did.
Big purchases and vegetables.
Okay, thank you for getting that together for me. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of electronic devices in your house. You've been kind enough to consent to downloading several of them. One of them being the iPad mini that's Thomas's. Is that right? Now on previously you told us that Thomas had gotten up on New Year's Eve, spent some time with you, jammed it on, and then he'd gone to bed, right? And that's what, like 10 or 30, is that correct?
Around there.
Around there?
You can combine the photo that was sent by Anna. You give it more exact time.
Do you use any other devices in the house?
I use my phone, and Anna and I will use our phones and the I don't use it, but I only use the both. And both laptop.
The gold laptop? Is that Apple or?
Everywhere there's Apple except Anna's work computer was not Apple.
So again, you download the iPad mini, and you've been fairly consistent in your story, your account in the morning. You said that Anna get it pissed at 6:30 in the morning. Is that right? You're saying that where you want to make breakfast.
That's correct.
Okay. So how do you explain that about 4:54 in the morning, the iPad mini is querying the 10 best ways to dispose of weekend balls?
It's 54 in the morning.
So they're confronting him. Why are you doing searches on the iPad mini?
I don't have no idea.
Thomas is asleep.
I was asleep, he says.
And
Well, Thomas is in his room.
Thomas is in his room. Maybe it was my son using the iPad doing the searching.
With the iPad.
All I'm saying is Thomas was in his room. I was asleep. When I woke up, someone was dead. That's all I'm saying.
So that's really weird.
he's 6, right?
Yeah.
He's-
Maybe he does not have that.
Is he the average intelligence for a 6-year-old?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, but 6-year-olds typically are gonna have a 4-year-old who's, as I can't spell his last name.
No,
Since he's obviously way more advanced. If you have a 6-year-old who, you know, is
No, obviously not.
okay, there is dozens of searches on that on the morning of the 1st that ask how to dispose of the body, how to get blood out of hardwood floors.
Dozens of searches, dismembering a body, how to get blood out of hardwood floors, blah, blah, blah.
How to dispose of a body in the trash.
How to dispose of a body in the
How
trash.
to stop a body from decomposing.
How to stop a body from decomposing.
And how do you explain that?
How do you explain that?
I tell her no idea.
So you're not using that iPad?
No, sir.
I wasn't using the iPad.
Only to get it for his speaking duties.
Okay. On 11/6, right?
That's what I believe, yeah.
So throughout the afternoon on the 1st, when I was gone, the device continues to query how to get blood stains, does blood remove,
So later in the afternoon, you're querying blood stains.
does the dishwasher remove blood from a knife, so on and so forth.
Does dishwasher remove DNA from knife?
Today in the
Good question.
chat, everyone who's mostly women, but not only, was saying, like, can this guy do anything? Like, he doesn't know how to remove a blood. He can't clean it. He's never cleaned anything. Like, how does
No.
he tie his shoes? How does he go outside? Like, he's
Right.
completely.
And again, this is all stuff you should have looked up first before the crime, Brian.
Continue on here in second, third. Let's dismember body under that nature. Doesn't have to be.
It is 11:21.
Okay, so the
So,
interview ends.
January 8th, 2024.
And I don't know if it was edited because they discussed that for a little bit about, this was agreement of what is included, not included, or if he just said, I'm not going to talk anymore. Okay.
And after that interview was over, what did you do?
We went back to the Cohasset Police Station.
If you could keep your voice up, sir.
Sorry. We went back to the Cohasset Police Station.
And did you ever have the opportunity to see Mr. Walsh again that day?
Yes,
About what time?
about 4 p.m.
And where was that?
at Attorney Minor's residence in Situate.
And what did you do with him at that point in time?
I placed the defendant under arrest.
Now, where was the defendant taken after you placed him under arrest?
The Cohasset Police Station.
And did you ever have the opportunity to see his hands on January 8th and January 9th?
Yes.
Kylie Phoenix says, why use your own computer and IP addresses? Has he not heard of a public library? Well, a few problems there. One, he's doing it at 4 a.m. in the morning right after he killed her, which you gotta believe he didn't mean to, or didn't plan on doing it then somehow. I don't know. But also it would require a library card and, applying for one. And just knowing him, he would probably sign into his own account on the library computer anyway.
The Commonwealth would seek to publish what's been marked as Exhibit 48, which is file number 7697.
That's one of the previously admitted exhibits from yesterday morning, yes?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may publish it.
All right, so you see he's got a little cut on his finger.
Yeah.
Sergeant, what did you do on January 9th in this matter?
I went to 300 Forest Street in Peabody
And about what time did you get to 300 Forest Street in Peabody?
around dusk.
And why were you there?
We had collected 2 dumpsters from the apartment complex at 330 Paradise Road. Those were transported to a transfer, like a trash transfer station in Peabody for examination.
So I'm going through this really fast, but they're just going to show the stuff that they got out of the dumpster. So we got some boots there. Looks like maybe her purse, like that looks like purse contents to me there, doesn't it? Kind of. There's her COVID vaccine card. with her blood on it, I believe.
The card from some guy she's fucking at the car wash, probably.
Now, Sergeant, did you ever have the opportunity to review financial records in this matter?
Yes.
And you said that you'd been working on that during your investigation, but you've also looked at them since then. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so this is all sped up. We go through this. Basically, they just keep pulling up her accounts and showing that no activity happens after New Year's Day. And this account is negative, but it's because of auto withdrawals. I know, you're probably all missing this riveting stuff. This isn't 150% either. This is at 4,000%, I think. And then this is the judge tells the jury about his criminal conviction for fraud and reads it out there. It was an agreed upon statement.
One last question, Your Honor. Sergeant, what are the closest hardware stores to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
On Route 3A, to the north is Hingham Lumber, about a mile away. And to the south is Abishan Hardware, also in Cohasset, about a mile away.
And that's important because those are not the hardware stores he went to.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
You may proceed.
I hate the way the defense attorney talks. I was trying to cut out a lot of his pauses because he'll go,
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Those financial records that were just displayed in jury, tell us in your own words, what significance are those?
It goes to the totality of the circumstances in the investigation. It gives us background and just an understanding
Understanding what?
of the entire investigation.
Well, what those records show, isn't it, is that there was a lot of automatic payments being made.
Yes.
Those records do not show any withdrawals reportedly by Mr. Brian Walshe.
Correct.
And for instance, those records that were related to the Freedom card that you then told the jury about the indication of the flights and you identified DUB as Dublin. Where'd you get those records?
From Chase Freedom.
Okay. You didn't find those records in the home of Mr. Walsh, did you?
No.
And you didn't find those records then in the possession of Mr. Walsh, did you?
Can I explain?
Can you answer the question?
I can.
What is it?
Physically in his possession, no.
And when you were talking and asking Mr. Walsh questions, both on January 4th, January 5th, and later on January 7th, and then on January 8th, he never once told you anything about Anna Walsh being in Dublin, or he was suspecting that she was in Dublin, or anything of the sort.
Correct.
When you were talking to Mr. Walsh back on January 4th and January 5th, he forthrightly told you about the federal case, didn't he?
Yes.
And he told you that it was, I think he used the word integrity. He admitted that this was all his fault, correct?
Yes.
And that stipulation that was just read to the jury about the federal case, that was the same case, wasn't it?
Correct.
It was about painting fraud involving Warhol paintings that were fraudulent, correct?
Yes.
And as far as you know, and based on your investigation that's gone on for some time now, other than that federal, there's no other federal case. Let me ask you.
I'm not aware of any other federal case.
And it'd be one of the things you would do as the lead detective in this case, to make sure you knew about other pending federal cases or things like that, correct?
Yes.
Let me just ask this. You told us that on January 8th, around 4 p.m., you returned, was it to Attorney Minor's home and placed Mr. Walsh under arrest?
Yes.
And it's fair to say that once he was placed under arrest, is it fair to say that he remained in custody?
Yes.
And so, just getting to that Richard Walker stipulation.
So they're talking about there was some threat, or there was some like fake ransom attempt sent in saying we have this person, but it wasn't Anna.
Right. It was a stock photo, and they went back to the IP, and it was apparently from Nigeria, which is very strange, but they didn't.
But anyway, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter if it came from him or not. So I don't know why the defense is. I don't know.
Is this all they have that didn't involve him?
Look, he didn't. Yeah, they're only covering the stuff he did do. Look, he
Nigeria.
Didn't take,
Interesting.
stupid fly. look, he didn't take money right out of the bank, and he didn't mail this ransom letter.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that one of those ransom notes that we had to hear about, that occurred after Mr. Walsh had been placed into custody, correct?
Yes, I believe it was February 10th, the second one I received.
So, even though the stipulation entered into evidence was that everybody agrees that Mr. Walsh had nothing to do with that Richard Walker tip, nonetheless, you knew, and the detectives knew, early on in this case, that Richard Walker tip had nothing to do with Mr. Walsh, correct?
That was our understanding.
Okay.
Great point. What did you do there, defense?
I will
Now,
say
focus
this,
your
they
attention-
shouldn't- I don't know why the prosecutor brought it in. They should have just left this whole thing out.
Maybe they thought the defense would say, yeah, you didn't follow these investigations. You didn't investigate. You only focused on my client, who later confessed to dismembering the body. But
That's right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's probably it. They probably just had.
that's my only guess.
You're probably right. Yeah.
On what we heard on the January 8th interview. By the time you got to Tracy Minor's call,
And plus, I think the prosecution is a little bit stuck in their. I mean, remember, he only pled guilty 2 weeks ago, right? So they've been building their case for this entire time. And I think you get stuck into, like, you had rehearsed all this stuff that you were going to prepare to prove that he dismembered the body, right? And you're kind of just still, rather than, hey, let's go through and scrub all the stuff, let's just go with the game plan we got because it's solid, right? You know, he already confessed to this, but unless it's a major thing, they'll leave it out. But
you and your colleagues,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't know what they were going to say about her death until the opening statement. Oh, sudden death syndrome.
Yeah.
had done an investigation on what's been referred to as a mini item, right?
Yes.
This is my own pet peeve. I really don't like that the defense attorney keeps calling it a mini iPad or a mini pad. Like, it's an iPad mini.
Doesn't make it a mini crime.
How old are you? You old man. It's an iPad mini.
Yeah.
And that mini iPad was associated with one of the sons, the oldest son, correct?
Correct.
And when you listen to that recorder, when you listen to the questions that are posed to Mr. Walsh, and you ask him about that mini pad, his demeanor changed, didn't it?
He's just, when you asked him about that mini pad.
Yes.
In fact, it's fair to say, isn't it? I don't want to mischaracterize, but he looked and sounded sad, didn't he?
So I get what the defense is trying to do here, but he doesn't realize how stupid it is. He's trying to intimate that, I assume he's trying to say that Brian didn't do these searches and he found out that there were searches on there and he's just like, oh, what did my son do? Oh, you know what else?
Coincidence.
Yeah, but you know what else might make Brian sad in that moment? Realizing he's a idiot and they found the searches that he did on his son's iPad. That might also make him sad. Oh, I'm going to jail now.
Northwest says maxi pad.
Correct.
Because you were talking to him about his oldest son mini pad.
His oldest son's mini pad. It just sounds so.
Yeah.
Looked and sounded sad, didn't he?
Correct.
Because you were talking to him about his oldest son mini pad. Right?
His 6-year-old. Yeah, it is his oldest son, but he's not 20.
Yeah.
Objection.
Basis. Overruled.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
You were talking to him at the time about his oldest son's mini pad, correct?
Correct.
And he basically answered you, I don't know anything about those searches, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it was a lie.
You've learned in your investigation of this case, haven't you, that the searches that you were asking Mr. Walsh about at that time.
Look, again, he sounds so angry. Like,
He's angry.
it's the wrong emotion.
Well,
It's the wrong emotion.
In his defense, I'm not sure what emotion should be what's proper here, other than embarrassment.
Yeah, I don't know. But just, this is not an outrage that this case is happening, sir.
Yeah,
Those
it's
searches
not
were not,
really ridiculous. It's not like he was plucked off some random street.
in fact, conducted on the mini iPad that was associated with his son, correct?
Yes, they were synced to that, but they did not occur on that iPad, is my understanding.
Right. So now your investigation was able to determine that whoever conducted those searches, of course, your investigation revealed that it was Brian Walsh. He never used his young son's mini iPad to conduct any of those searches that we've heard about, correct?
Correct.
And so when you asked him about that mini iPad along with his son, his demeanor changed and he looked sad, correct?
Yes.
Why? Now I'm actually confused. Does the defense think that Brian was sad because they thought they were going to arrest his son? What is going on here? What are you doing, defense?
Those,
I mean, I haven't seen him sad yet. So,
okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
those two exhibits that were shown, exhibit 48 and 49, they showed what appeared to be cuts on the hands of Mr. Walsh, correct?
Yes.
You have no idea how those cuts occurred, please.
You have an idea. Because he's Googling questions about a knife.
Correct.
You don't have any idea when they occurred, do you?
Correct. Well, I do know they occurred before the photo was taken, obviously.
I'm sorry?
They occurred before the photo was taken, obviously.
What a weird answer. Did you hear what he said?
I heard it earlier, but I didn't hear it this time, and I don't.
He's saying you don't know when those cuts occurred, right? He's like, no. He's like, well, before the photo was taken, because they're in the photo. Duh.
I mean,
Come on, detective. Now you're getting a little snarky.
Yes, obviously. Let me ask you a couple of questions about some of the things you testified to about yesterday. One of the things you testified to is at some point after going to the home and talking to Mr. Walsh on January 4th, you and I believe it was Detective Lawrence?
Officer Greg Lawrence.
Okay, Lawrence. You went and you surveyed the interior and the exterior of the home.
Yes.
And one of the things that you were doing was, as a trained law enforcement officer, you were looking for anything that might give you a clue or anything suspicious.
Local town witch. Just watch the first 3-minute intro and then jump back with us. I give basically the overview, right? I mean, super. There's not much you need to know than the first 3 minutes.
no, unless I don't know how much she's missed, but yeah.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Local town witch said, "Would anybody mind catching
No,
me
I
up?
know,
I
but I
haven't
don't
actually
know.
haven't heard about this case and guy before.
Right. Yeah.
Watch the first 3 minutes and come back here. It'll catch you up."
Or anything like that.
Correct.
And that's how you're trained.
Yes.
And you're a very competent officer, aren't you?
I think so.
And in this case, you exercised that competency. And when you saw, for instance, that Volvo out in the parking lot, you walked out there and you looked inside the Volvo, correct?
Correct.
And is it fair to say that Mr. Walsh was with you at the same time?
Yes.
And you made note, you told this jury about it, you made note that you saw a piece of plastic sheeting lying in the back of that Volvo, correct?
Yes.
And you even made note of what you described as a seedling that had fallen down into that sheeting.
Yes, that's what I remember.
And eventually that sheeting was eventually seized, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
It was
that.
eventually seized, it was taken.
That plastic sheeting? Not to my knowledge.
Was there other plastic sheeting that was subsequently seized?
Yes.
And did that subsequent seized sheeting that matched the sheeting that you observed in the Volvo?
It looked familiar. I'm not aware of any scientific comparison from one sheeting to the next.
Okay. But I guess it's just fair to say that when you were looking around and you looked at that Volvo, Mr. Walsh didn't keep you from looking inside, did he?
Correct.
Oh my goodness. Brian didn't prevent them from looking in the Volvo. Must be innocent. Or Mr. Defense Attorney, I guess that would be 100% consistent with his ability to get away with crimes. He's constantly making the wrong decision. He's the keystone murderer.
The child-proof latches that we heard about yesterday. If we could have Exhibit 34 brought up, photo number 7335. That's that door that you testified to yesterday?
Yes.
That's the door to the basement?
Correct.
The childhood latches are at the top of the door?
Yes.
Anybody can undo those latches as long as they're tall enough to reach it?
I assume with the proper grip strength, yes.
And so any adult probably released that plastic latch, correct?
Yes.
And as far as you know, on the door handle, there was no key lock or anything of the sort preventing somebody from going down to the basement?
I don't recall a key lock on that door.
And when you saw that door for the first time, was it open or shut?
I don't recall.
We heard some evidence yesterday about a hole in the ceiling in Mr. Walsh's bedroom, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you can take that exhibit down. I apologize. Now, that's the hole we're talking about, correct?
Yes.
And is it your testimony that you saw that hole on January 4th this time you were taking a tour of the house?
I remember seeing it on the 5th and not being surprised by it.
So I don't know. I didn't zoom in a lot here, but he's going to go into how the pieces were found, and there's nothing wrong with the pieces, and there's nothing wrong with the insulation, right? But I don't know if you can kind of see. This isn't flat necessarily right up next to it, right? There's a gap in between here where the insulation was. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of see on the bottom of the wood panel there, it looks like what looks like spots, like drip spots or something, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily that it is blood necessarily, but
right.
Just because there's no evidence of blood or something on the insulation in the ceiling doesn't mean Brian's not stupid enough to worry about it. One of his searches is how do you get blood out of wood? Right. He's thinking, oh, no, what if it went down through into the ceiling and they could find it down there? I better cut a hole in my ceiling.
I mean, the knife could have slipped out of his hand and stuck right there. There would be very little anything necessarily. It could have just been literally a knife, stab with some blood.
Right. And
something clearly happened there. That's a big hole in a ceiling in a rental.
And I don't remember if I said it last night, but the reason this is important is because the reason the defense doesn't like this, right, is because his claim of the sudden death, okay, and he freaked out because he started dismembering her. But I'm guessing that there's going to be evidence of the dismemberment happening in different parts of the house. So why is there blood upstairs? Why would you dismember her in the bedroom?
Oh,
right?
So when you dismember, well, he did dismember her, but he also stabbed her to death. So
right.
That's
the point.
Kind of bleeding, right?
Right. But that's the point. That's what guarantee the prosecution is going to get to. No, there's blood up there because that's where he stabbed her.
Right. Because she was still blood bleeding. She was still alive. Right. Yeah, the blood was still pumping.
His story doesn't make sense.
No.
I mean, besides it not making sense, right? But this doesn't. This doesn't even jive with his fake story.
No.
And all you mean by that is I could have seen it, but I'm just not sure.
Yes. So I definitely remember it on the 5th, and I remember knowing that the ceiling tile was in the bottom drawer of that bureau or that nightstand. I don't explicitly remember seeing it on the 4th, but
Yay, local town witch. Thank you for confirming. The first 3 minutes were, in fact, all I needed. Jesus Christ. How are you going to Google all that so boldly? And we get the Google searches this stream. So
I believe I did just because I wasn't surprised by my seeing it on the 5th.
Is it fair to say that when you talk about those ceiling pieces, they were stuck in a drawer that was right there underneath the hole?
Correct.
And it was Mr. Walsh who showed you where those pieces were?
Yes.
And you didn't see anything on those pieces that raised any suspicion?
No.
It's fair to say when you look at this exhibit, we can see what sometimes is referred to as ceiling joists.
That's what it appears to be, yes.
Okay, and between the ceiling joists is insulation?
Correct.
And it's as if the insulation is intact, ceiling joists are intact, but the plastic falls down, correct?
Yes.
And it's fair to say that plastic falls down without any pressure on it, depending on what happened, correct?
Depending on the state of disrepair, possibly.
You have
plaster doesn't just fall down on its own, sir.
no idea how that will occur, do you?
I believe in one of the audio recordings, the defendant states he goes up there and was walking around.
Okay, but you don't have any idea what he's walking around for.
Correct.
And in fact, in that conversation, the context of that was that that occurred long before January 1st.
That was my presumption.
Presumption based on the context of the conversation?
Yes.
That insulation that we see, is it fair to say that what we're looking at is the paper wrapping that covers the fiberglass that forms the insulation?
Yes, the vapor barrier portion of the insulation.
And is it fair to say, do you know, well, that's a terrible question. Do you know if the insulation that we're looking at in that exhibit, what color it is when you look at the fiberglass insulation?
I remember.
Yeah, Northwest NW. Those are cut edges, not breaking. Right. Now, you would cut it out to patch it, but I don't know why you cut it out and haven't done anything.
Also, nothing he did would have worked, but this is really the worst option.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could have painted over it.
Right. Well, he was worried about what was on the backside, so he had to get in there to cut it open because he's an idiot. Right. So
right, because how would they even? I mean, what am I doing?
But no, defense attorney, the fact that there's nothing wrong with the pieces isn't the issue. It's the fact that he cut the hole in the ceiling for some reason.
For being pink.
Yeah.
And it's a pink color. Now, we saw some photographs of the basement of the Cohasset home, didn't we, yesterday? correct?
Yes.
And in those photographs, it also showed photographs on the ceiling to the basement, correct?
Correct.
And that ceiling also had insulation, correct?
Correct.
And that color of that insulation was also in, correct?
Correct.
You talked about going down into the basement, and you saw some bags down there. You recall that?
Yes.
Could we have exhibit number 33, photograph 7343? You went down into the basement.
Yes.
Did Mr. Walsh go down in the basement with you?
Yes.
You found some bags down there,
I did.
and you didn't open the bags.
Correct.
But you pushed on the bags and touched the bags, didn't you?
Yeah, I manipulated with my boot.
With your boot. And what did you think was in the bags?
Like a piece of a rug or like carpet
Let's get those likes up, people. We're only at 55.
sample sized.
Okay. But you didn't look in the bag, correct?
Correct.
But based on your training and experience, you thought it was pieces of rock.
That's what I assumed.
And
Trifling temptress, please tell me he's going to testify. I don't see how he can't based on their defense. He has to testify finding her lifeless. You can't just have the expert going up there and saying, yeah, people die of sudden unexplained death syndrome, which isn't a thing. It's the determination when there are no more explanations found for a death, just like SIDS. SIDS isn't a disease itself. It's a diagnosis that they can't figure out why the kid died. But there was no autopsy, so it's not SUDS, if SUDS is even the term for it. I don't understand how you get that evidence or that testimony in without him on the stand, because he's the only one there. So he has to take the stand.
this was on January 4th, wasn't it?
It was either the 4th or the 5th.
Yeah, only I said, hear me out, bled out, said she bled out in the attic. I'm just coming up with theories.
Whether it's the 4th or the 5th, there were still bags down there. And
I'm not necessarily saying she bled out in the attic. Something happened in the attic. That's all I'm saying.
Or in the room, or in that room, right? Because
I think it's the attic above them, above that hole.
I don't see anything in that. He would have had to cut a hole straight through if it happened there. That was my first thought too. I was like, maybe something happened, you know, but I think, look, we can't figure this out.
No, SIDS is for infants. He's saying that she died of
Just for the
SUDS.
thought. I wonder if
SUDS.
he,
Go ahead.
sorry. I wonder if he was going to try to place her body in.
I don't think there's that much space.
Well, I don't either.
Maybe
but
her.
How would
maybe
he
her,
know that until he cuts the hole?
Maybe her items or her personal
Belongings or
items. Yeah.
something, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah. SUDS is not.
SUDS is.
SUDS is. No, wait. SUDS isn't a diagnosis. It's SUDS is not a like heart attack. There's heart attack. There's aneurysm. There's whatever.
Some people very rarely do just die.
Right. But SUDS is when you've exhausted, you can't figure out the reason, but that doesn't make it its own disease. It's just a label, right? It's a placeholder for undetermined.
Right.
But you need to have an autopsy and to rule everything out.
in the basement that may have contained pieces of rope.
Correct.
And Mr. Walsh was right with you when you were using your boot to touch those bags. Using your training and experience, determined that feels like they have rope pieces.
Correct.
And down in that basement, those stairs, they're wood stairs, aren't they?
They are.
And did you notice the very bottom stair to the stairway to the basement? It was cracked rope.
Not at the time.
And of course, the flooring for that basement that you entered, that was concrete, correct?
Yes.
You were asking questions both yesterday and today about the pool that is in the rear part of the home house, correct?
Yes.
And at one point, you looked at the pool and it had water in it, and then subsequently it had been drained, correct?
Yes.
And as far as you know, nothing of any significance was found in that pool, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you would be interested to determine if there was any evidence that a substance like blood had been placed in that pool. That'd be one of the things you'd be curious about.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And afterward, you and your fellow officers had uncovered the searches that we've heard some about. You're aware of a search, aren't you? That was found on the macro. It talked about something about how you measure blood in a pool or some words to that effect. Are you aware of it?
Yes.
And so there was never anything found of any significance in the pool, was there?
Not that I'm aware of.
And in fact, I think it was, you talked about a canine search in the back area, correct?
Yes.
And that canine is a human scent canine, correct?
It's a patrol and tracking dog.
And it didn't hit on, if that's the proper term, it did not hit on anything in the backyard whatsoever.
I believe the canine was on the outside portion of that fenced-in backyard doing the track.
Okay. It didn't hit on anything significant or related to your investigation of this case, did it?
No.
Now, You walked through the house, you already told us, correct?
Yes.
You walked through it at least twice. One on January 4th and then on January 5th.
Yes.
And you didn't see anything that seemed suspicious, correct?
Correct.
And it's fair to say that, quote, you're sensitive to that, correct? Based on your training and experience.
Yes.
But you well know, don't you, that subsequently, criminalists, multiple criminalists from the Mass State Police then arrived at that house sometime after or on January 8th of 2023, correct?
Yes.
And they were there for more than just 2 days, weren't they?
It was more than one day. It went into the second day at least.
And they went over every single room and item in that Cohasset home, didn't they?
That is my presumption.
And so even though when you, as a trained and experienced officer, walked through that house a couple of times and didn't see anything, still there was trained criminalists that came to the house to conduct testing and searching for anything that might be significant, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
There was trained criminalists that came to the house to look for anything that might be significant related to the investigation that was ongoing.
That is correct.
I want to ask you some questions about the media used to message. There's no such thing as something called iMessenger, is there?
I'm familiar with iMessages,
Right.
like Apple-to-Apple communication.
Right. So my
I didn't know it was muted. Yeah, Northwest NW said, AKA sudden arrhythmic death syndrome, SADS, is the sudden and unexpected death of adolescents and adults caused by cardiac arrest. And I believe that's what they're going to say happened. But that's not how they described it. They said unknown death.
question is rather simple. There's no such thing called iMessenger, correct?
At that direct quote, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And when you were talking to Mr. Walsh on January 4th, he used the term iMessenger, didn't he?
It was either iMessenger or iMessages.
Well, you were asked about that when you testified before the grand jury, right?
I don't recall. Likely.
Well, you recall that at the grand jury, based on a series of questions, you determined and stated in part that when Mr. Walsh was talking about iMessenger, he was really talking about Facebook messaging.
The context of that portion of the interview did seem as if it was because we're on the Facebook subject and social media subject.
Okay. And when he was talking to you and saying, well, some messages.
Kylie Phoenix, but again, why cut her up? He was panicked.
Because he knew he would be the suspect.
He knew he would be the suspect. He has to cut her up.
For this way, no questions will be asked.
Would come up on his phone that were intended for Anna Walsh. He was talking about, quote, iMessenger. That's the phrase he used, correct?
I believe so.
And then Messenger, once again, has to do with Facebook, correct?
That was my presumption from the context of the conversation.
And so you are unaware, as you sit here today, that there is any forensic evidence that Mr. Walsh ever saw the messages or any messages that may have occurred between Anna Walsh and one person named William Fester, correct?
Well, there's other evidence that's going to say he knew. Drunky the Bear, $5. This lawyer sounds like Captain Captain J.T. Kirk at this speed.
It's true.
James Tiberius Kirk at this speed. There's something on the wing.
Something on the wing.
Something on the wing. P.S. Thanks to Hear Me Out and Suma and mods. He trust me, he sounds like him at any speed. Like that's why I can't stand about his cadence. And I've cut out pauses from him. I don't know if I got them all right, but even with those cutouts,
This trial is so boring at every speed with everything cut out.
it really is. It's amazingly boring.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the wording of that just so I have it clear?
You are unaware of any forensic evidence that establishes that Mr. Walsh saw iMessages that may have been sent between Anna Walsh and William Fester.
I don't recall any digital.
Oh, I get what you were saying earlier, Drunky the Bear. You were saying there's something on the wing. Something on the wing. I didn't say it correctly. Sorry.
Forensics related to what you're describing.
And in fact, are you aware of the use of Messenger in the context of Facebook?
Yes.
And is it fair to say, just correct me if I'm wrong, that somebody can friend somebody on Facebook and then they can trade Messenger communications, correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
And anybody who is a friend will see those Messenger communications and can respond to them?
In the context of Facebook?
Yes, in the context of Facebook.
Messages, my understanding is messages between people.
Northwest NW. I did add some stuff in the search section. I do think I spiced that one up, so that will be enjoyable for us to watch.
Even that we missed at first today because it just didn't sound,
Right, and I tried to cut out as much of the boring repetition in it as
Would
possible.
be only between the people that are included in that message.
Well, when you talk about messenger, you're talking about messengers, the format you.
Facebook Messenger, yes.
It's fair to say that if someone's trying
Welcome, Jennifer Cottrell,
Hi, Jennifer.
71.
to hide an affair, they don't communicate using Facebook Messenger. That might be open to people that they don't want to find out about an affair.
Objection.
Sustained.
Oh, I forgot to mention, because my parents were mentioning it. December 2nd. This is the anniversary of my diagnosis back in 85.
Wow.
Which,
Wow.
for those who like numbers, my dad always likes numbers. I was 2 years, 2 months, 2 days when I was diagnosed on 12/2. It is crazy.
You are unaware, as you sit here today, of any forensic evidence that indicates that Mr. Walsh saw any Facebook Messenger communications between Anna Walsh and William Fasco, aren't you?
Correct.
In your interview, during your questioning of Mr. Walsh, you were present with others, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Well, sometimes when the jury heard that questioning, it wasn't you asking the questions, it was other officers, including Trooper DeChico, correct?
Yes.
But during those questioning,
Nice, not intentional.
you were asking, and when I say you, I mean you or your colleagues, you were asking Mr. Walsh for names of people that might be helpful, correct?
Yes.
And he gave you a number of names, people who he knew Anna may be friends with in DC, and names of people that she might be friends with in the Massachusetts area, correct?
Correct.
And one of the names that he gave you was William Fasco, correct?
Yes.
And you are aware of the fact that William Fasco sold the $1 million townhouse to Anna Walsh and Brian Walsh, correct?
Yes.
And when Mr. Walsh gave you the name of William Fasco, he didn't sound angry, did he?
He did not.
He didn't say anything pejorative about Mr. Fasco, did he?
Correct.
And before that occurred, you or your fellow officers had made it clear by asking Mr. Walsh questions of whether he knew anything about an affair or affairs that Anna Walsh might be involved in.
Yes, we asked about that.
And you asked him about it more than once.
Correct.
And you were asking about it because it could be something that you'd use in your investigation, correct?
Oh, I'm totally fine
Yes.
now.
And by the nature and the context of your investigation, you were making it clear that, well, an affair could be some evidence
Oh, yeah.
that could be either good or bad in our investigation.
Potentially.
And so anybody who's trying to hide the fact that they knew about an affair that could be bad evidence, you wouldn't expect them to give you the name of a person that they knew was having an affair with their wife.
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, isn't that part of your training and experience, officer, that you don't expect people to give you harmful information when you're asking them questions?
Objection.
Sustained.
Have you met Brian, sir?
In any event, you had made it clear to Mr. Walsh that evidence of an affair could be either good or bad, correct?
Do you repeat that?
You made it clear, you and your colleagues, in the multiple questions about an affair, that evidence of an affair between Anna and somebody else could be good or bad evidence.
I don't recall speaking about an affair being good or bad.
In any event, we can all agree that he just gave you the name of William Fasco in the context of anybody that she may know, Anna, may know in the DC area, correct?
Correct.
Along with other names, correct?
Correct.
On January 7th, during the interview of Mr. Walsh, he was told, and the jury has heard this, that obviously, quote, obviously, with Anna missing, you know, the public and many people, they're going to have their suspicions about you and whether you did something to Anna.
Well, no, Sherlock. Of course everyone's going to think that. And rightly so. He did something to her.
That was told to Mr. Walsh on January 7th.
I would still think that if all of the evidence wasn't just
Overwhelming.
indisputable. Yeah, overwhelming.
And if his actions didn't match the same person that would
And if
do
he
it.
wasn't a
Everything.
criminal to begin with.
Yeah.
Correct.
The point of that question was you were warning Mr.
Okay, good night, Miyagarita.
Walsh. People are going to suspect him, correct?
It was a topic of discussion.
And so it's true, isn't it? When something happens like a missing person, people don't believe somebody that they think might be responsible for the missing person, correct?
Objection.
Well, no. They don't believe Brian because Brian's a known liar, but they also don't believe him based on his affect of him coming out after the rest going, smiling at the cameras.
Looking
It doesn't
like
make
a
any
full
sense.
Psychopath.
like a total psychopath.
Yeah,
I'll have
I'm
question
sure
back.
they looked into the guy she was sleeping with, and had anything led them in that direction, they would have followed it. Even these
Right.
idiots.
I'm sorry.
I'll have the question back.
By the way, whenever I'm doing that super fast speed up, it's because literally nothing is happening.
You were warning Mr. Walsh that people weren't going to believe.
I didn't make that statement, so I was not warning him that.
Okay, but you were there with your colleagues, correct?
Yes.
And your colleague, I mean, from the context of it, you understand that your colleague was telling Mr. Walsh, people aren't going to believe you, so they're going to be suspicious.
I don't know if it's under the context of people aren't going to believe you, but we were discussing the subject that he may, people may suspect him. And I remember he said that his attorney exposed him to that.
Okay, but regardless of what his attorney told him, when it was told to Mr. Walsh, obviously with Anna missing, the public and many people, they're going to have this suspicion about you and whether you did something to Anna, correct?
Yes.
And an experienced police officer, that to sometimes be true, correct?
Sometimes.
People don't believe you when you say something happened, correct? Objection.
Overruled, but I am having a little hard time. I don't know if it's the monitor or the tone or the largeness of this room. So keep your voice up. And if you can on the microphone, I know you like to move around.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. This defense attorney is terrible to hear.
I should just stay right here.
It's all right. You can move around. I just need you to keep your voice up.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, that in investigations, for instance, for a missing person, people don't believe the person that they might think is responsible, correct?
It's human nature, sir. If you think somebody did it, you're not going to believe them saying they didn't do it.
I've always been
without evidence.
under the premise of trust but verify.
Trust but verify. Okay.
So that's it for him. Now we're getting to the messages guy. All right, here we go. What was that? Number 3. Okay, so 4. All right, here we go.
Nicholas Guarino. Trpr Guarino, were you working on Sunday, January 8th, 2023?
Yes, I was.
And were you assisting with the execution of a search warrant at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset?
Yes.
And what was your assignment at that execution of the search warrant?
I was assisting with the search of the home, and if any digital devices were located, I was to take them and put them into evidence bags and then hold on to them to transport back to the DA's office.
Okay. And what digital devices in general did you
There's only a little bit of the intro that I keep
seize that day?
There were 3 MacBooks, 2 iPhones, and 3 iPads.
Thank you. And were pictures taken during the execution of the search warrant?
Yes, there was a member of Crime Scene Services there photographing where we found items.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to show pictures and publish them to the jury. They've been previously marked and agreed to by the defense.
Okay, so there's pictures of the devices, where they were located. You can see on here, they're kind of flashing by. I try to keep in the facts, like when he was saying there was this many iPhones, this many computers, just so people have the details they need. But you don't need to see where they were necessarily explained in detail.
What is an Apple ID?
So the Apple ID is a personalized ID for your Apple devices that can be used to download apps, go to the App Store, download music, movies, wherever you please.
What does a person use their Apple ID for?
As I said, to download items, set up the accounts, it's usually an email address, and then they're able to sync other devices with it if need be.
Not FBI. Beyond that, he was shaking his head at some of them like, no.
Can a person have more than one Apple ID?
Registered to a device, yes.
Of course,
How
Jennifer
can
Control. But that also is what causes the delays to get the stuff out.
Apple device be secured?
Either Face ID or 4 or 6-digit passcode, or alphanumeric as well.
What is a web browser?
The web browser is whatever program you're using to view the internet, whether it be Microsoft Edge, Safari, Google Chrome.
You mentioned Safari. What specifically is Safari?
So Safari is Apple's web browser that they have installed on all their devices.
Can other web browsers be used with Apple devices?
Yes.
Kylie Phoenix, we know he
What was
bought
the
a
date
hacksaw
range? Sorry about that. What was the
and
date
a
range
hatchet.
that the search warrant allowed you to examine on that MacBook?
December 25th of 2022 to January 8th of 2023 when we seized the device.
And were you able to create a physical printout binder of that?
Yes, that's what this is here.
So with all that said, all the export, the celebrate, and everything, they've got it in this binder. They've got it printed out. That will go back with the jury. Yeah, of course, Grampy. Most of this trial is boring.
All of it, pretty much.
What is the title?
Title is the name of the website. If you looked at the top of like the web browser bar, that would be the title.
And who created the title of the web page?
That's done automatically through the website.
What is the visit count?
Visit count, how many times the user has visited that website.
What is the visit source?
So the visit source is where the source of the information was pulled from. So this one here says locally browsed. That means it originated on this MacBook.
What is source? Not visit source, just source.
So the source shows the APFS container is the hard drive. It has a string of numbers and letters, users, B. Walshe, library, Safari. So it's showing where in the database it's pulling this information from.
And that's that. So I can see it says history.db that you had previously told us about.
Yes. So it's going down folder wise. So the library is the main folder, then it'll go into the Safari folder, and then the history database.
Yeah, Kylie, I believe he used a knife to kill her, and then he used the hacksaw hatchet to dismember her.
Base of Safari.
What is
And don't forget the Tyvek suit. That's what I added to the thumbnail. Him and his stupid little Breaking Bad Walter White Tyvek suit.
location?
Location, again, is it's the location of the items in that database where they're located.
Wear that. We would have searches on, if he didn't wear that, we would have to see searches on how to get blood off of skin.
Right. How do you
After
wash
killing
blood off?
one's wife.
How do you wash skin? How do you
How
wash?
do you wash your wife's blood off of skin after killing her?
Specifically within the HistoryDB database or whatever database it is?
That's correct.
What is what is evidence number? I think I skipped over that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, the evidence number is just the name of the disk, the hard drive, the image that we created.
Okay. So they broke.
So I'd like
warning.
to look at page 526, record 1952. What is the title?
Best ways to dispose of a body.
Ooh, care for JC YouTube. I heard somewhere else the reason why he pled guilty to the dismemberment charges to avoid the jury hearing about it. I haven't been able to see it all. Is that true? No, I think he pled guilty because it was obvious. My theory. He pled guilty to it because the evidence of the dismemberment is overwhelming from the text. And he's like, okay, I'll go to jail for that or whatever, right? But I can still come up with a narrative that I didn't kill her, which is the major charge he wants to get away from. But if he tries to fight all three, then he comes off as the jury's going to be like, no way, you're lying about dismembering her? Of course you did. They think they can still sell the narrative that he didn't kill her. So, but again, I don't see how that's possible.
Dash Google search.
What time and date?
And this is done on.
Here we go. So we got a lot of these.
So I'd like to look at page 520.
And a lot of her questioning was boring because it was always being like, hey, look at this page. What is the title? And then he has to read up the title of the thing. So I cut out a lot, or I sped up a lot of those as we go further. And then eventually just cut them all out. So where he's just reading titles of what the search result was.
6, record 1952. What is the title?
Best ways to dispose of a body. Dash Google search.
What time and date?
And this is done on January 1st, 2023 at 4:52:16 a.m.
And that's Eastern Standard Time.
That's correct.
With URL.
What
What does that mean?
Well, it shows that it was done. The search was done through Google, and the query words where it says Q equals best way to dispose of a body. That means that the user input those specific terms and hit enter to create the search to happen.
Okay. So beginning at page 527, if we look at record 1956. Can you explain what the pages are in the title? Can you tell me the title?
Yes. So the title for this one is 10 ways to dispose of a dead body, in parentheses, if you really need to. It says dash page 6. So that page 6 means they're on the 6th page of the website. So the website will break it down so you're not scrolling a million pages long. So you're usually at the end of the page, you'll see next page, you'll click.
And what I find actually comedic about this is he got himself caught into one of those. You've ever gone to those articles and you click on them because you're curious, like, the 10 stars that don't look the same as they did now. And you fall into that trap, right? Yeah. And then you're going and you're like, okay. And then you go to the next page and you're like, I want to see. And they're all, it's designed to get you to keep clicking. He fell into that trap on the 10 ways to get rid of a body.
If you really have to.
Yeah, if you really have to. He got himself into an AdSense.
I'm surprised he didn't constantly do that with everything.
So stupid. I just imagine him going through one of those spam articles.
Also, these are just the ones that are prevalent, that matter. Imagine all
Right,
the
right.
ones like that he.
Right.
That and goes to the next part of the website for the story or however it goes. So that page 6 indicates that they're on the 6th page of the website. And they do this for advertising reasons and, like I said, keeping things short and concise.
So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Northwest NW. It's BuzzFeed. And that's what
Right.
I exactly
Eat this to
picture
lower
him
your
doing.
cholesterol forever. Whatever.
Right.
earlier in the records, if we had started at page 527, 1956, that was
Oh, there's a lot of Zach Galifianakis.
10 ways to dispose of a body if you really need to. Dash page 2, the 2nd page of the article.
okay. So what does that indicate?
That the user clicked to go to that next page, then showing that also that the visit count is 4. So it's the user's been there before.
Thank you. Looking at page 534, record 1986. What is the title?
How long before a body starts to smell? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 4:55:25 a.m.
And what does Google search indicate there to you?
Again, that the user input how long before before a body starts to smell and did the actual web search.
What is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to inheritance? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
It was on January 1st, 2023 at 6:24:44 a.m.
And what does Yahoo search results indicate?
This was done on a Yahoo search.
Can you tell me what that title is?
It's the same whataculture.com article, 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to, page 7.
And what is the time and date for this?
January 1st, 2023 at 5:47:38 a.m.
So what does this indicate?
Again, a user had physically gone to page 7 of this article on the website.
And is this at a different time than had gone to the article pages 1 through 6 that we previously saw?
Yes, I believe there's a 45 or an hour difference. Yeah.
I mean, these Google searches would be incriminating even if it wasn't known somebody's missing. They'd be like, what are you doing, dude? What are you planning? Right? And your wife is missing. It's so incriminating.
I mean, I've Googled some really incriminating shit, but not this.
Right.
So that's where it ends. Yeah. Page 11 at 5:48:22 a.m.
And what is the significance of that, seeing that page 11?
As I said, that the user physically went 11 pages deep into this article.
What is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to be dead? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 6:25:17 a.m.
What is the title?
Title is Tishman Spire, Washington, D.C. head, Yahoo search results.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:44:46 a.m.
And you are familiar with these searches. There are multiple searches about Tishman Spire, is that correct?
That is correct.
And what is the title of the search on page 567, record 2096?
This is Lowe's dash Google search.
What is it? Not FBI says what exactly was so enthralling about the articles that he made it to page 11? Because he was getting trapped. He was getting, the runaround. He wasn't finding how to get rid of the body because they were just ad clicking him to death. Like he was doing like page after page. Like, it's really important to make sure you do it right because if you get caught,
He's like, because I really do have to. Like, this article is for me.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:48:04 a.m.
What is the title on page 576, record 2125?
Title is How long does DNA last? Which is a Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m.
Trooper, what is...
Object charging was sidebar first.
Yes.
congratulations, Polynomial. 5 months. Wow.
You gotta get guilty verdict for your wife's murder ASAP.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to read that. How to get guilty verdict for wife's murder ASAP.
2125 on page 578. And for the record, we're
Sidebar.
showing a PDF, which is the same version that the...
So the defense objected for some reason and being like, no, and they have to clarify. It's a PDF of the same. It's a PDF. Yes. We're showing the electronic version of the paper version that's going to the jury. What are you talking about, defense?
Lazy Gamer was saying that he was speculating that there's at least one person in the jury who's completely unaware of anything digital, like.
Oh, there's like some super old person. They're thinking like they don't know.
Doesn't know the difference between a website. I don't know, but
gotcha.
possible. It kind of seems that
Printed
way.
out version of the exhibit, which the jury will have. And there is a line, redirect URL. What is that?
So if you look at the redirect URL is when you
4 months.
Explain this. You're going to a website and you click on it, but it redirects you to
so he's getting pop-up ad redirected.
Not a separate website, but something similar. So if you look, it says, slate.news, it's an article, but it says, is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? So it's similar search terms, but not exactly what you search. So it's redirecting you to similar items. The website's doing that, I should say. It's not the user doing it.
It's redirecting you to how you can get a walk-in shower for cheap.
Well, it's redirecting you based on your interests, and you seem to be very interested on dismembering and murder.
The browser is sending you to a suggested website?
That's correct. So I'm sure people have done this. Those who haven't, that when you go to type in something in your phone or your MacBook, it gives you those suggested terms. That's similar to what this is.
Thank you.
Is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? ?
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:34:39 a.m.
Did the user go directly there, or was the user redirected?
From this, it looks that the user was redirected from the original search term items that they put in.
And did the user stay on that website?
The next search is done approximately a minute later. So it would stand that this website was up for a short amount of time, and then the next search was done.
So what does that mean?
They were there for about a minute, and then the next search comes in at 9:35:52.
Thank you. What is the title on page 579, record 2129?
Can identification be made on partial human remains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:35:52 a.m.
What is the title on page 583, record 2141?
How to dispose of a cell phone? Google search.
What time and date?
Why do you have to Google that? That might be one of his dumbest ones. How do you dispose of a cell phone? Come on.
January 1st, 2023.
As we said today earlier, this person does not know how to do anything at all.
Okay, how do
I walk
wipe?
to my car?
I only got step 1 of the wiping instructions. Put toilet paper in hand. What do I do now?
Exactly.
At 9:59:25 a.m.
What is the title
That was one
on
of the
page
questions in chat today, actually, was does he know how to wipe his own ass?
I don't think so.
584, record 2144?
How to dispose of a computer? Google search.
What is the time and date?
How to dispose of a computer?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:59:55 a.m.
What is the title on page 589, record 2159?
I'm a user on my wife's credit card. She is missing. Can I still use the card? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:19 a.m.
What is the title on page 591, record 2166?
My wife is missing. What should I do? Google search.
And I'm speeding it up a lot, but all she keeps saying is, what's this page? What is the title on this thing? So you don't need to hear what she's saying. She's just asking what time and date and what is the title of the next search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29 a.m.
What is the title on page 592 into 593, record 2170?
Yeah, title is Your Spouse is Missing and You Want a Divorce / Hello Divorce.
Oh, we didn't hear that one before.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:39 a.m.
What is the title on page 596, record 2185?
Ways to dispose of body parts after murder. Yeah.
And why is he searching for why he wants a divorce? I thought everything is great. He didn't know about an affair. He loved her. Why would he be looking for a divorce if she's just missing? What's the deal there?
Search results.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 8:43 p.m.
What is the title on page 597, record 2189?
6 ways to dispose of a body - murder, murder, murder.
Come on, dude. 6 ways to dispose of a body - murder, murder, murder.
And what is the URL?
www.murdermurdermurder.com/blog. 2017.
Which is the murder blog? Brian.
522, 6 ways to dispose of a body.
What's the time and date?
January 1st, 23, 11:47 a.m.
Exactly, Forever Wonder. Like, why is he searching how to dispose of a body after murder if she died naturally? That's the joke of this.
That's
He
the
is
thing,
giving, he is describing it as the murder. It's not the police or the prosecution hypothetically saying it's a murder. He is saying murder.
What is the title on page 596? Record 2193.
I've never seen searches this stupid. I mean, Letitia Stout had some very, very stupid ones
Right.
and bizarre, but she'd be like, how do I get candle wax out of a rug? Not, I killed my stepson.
Yeah.
How do I, you know?
After you've killed your stepson, how do you get
Right.
candle wax out of a rug?
Exactly. She didn't say the word murder. She didn't say kill, you know.
How to get candle wax out of the rug to avoid murder charges.
Right.
Patrick Kearney, Google search.
Did you review that
This was a new one. This one's bad.
search?
Did you hear this one before? Patrick Kearney? This
Yes.
is echoes of Chandler Halderson.
Yes, I did.
Who is Patrick
Yeah.
Kearney?
He was named a trash bag killer. He would murder victims and throw their corpses away into trash bags.
What is the time and date?
Objection, Judge.
Want to be heard?
Yes.
He knew his name somehow.
Can you tell me what the
Letitia
title
was
is?
also a little bit
Cleaning up
smarter than him, actually. At least she
the dead
found out
body?
her colleague. I mean, it was stupid, but you know, she did the things that are smarter than what he did.
Well, her problem was she had the Diane Downs not sticking to the one story. She kept switching it up. Okay, here's what
she
really
was a mess
happened.
and an ego and all that. But
Mhm.
you know,
/Wired YouTube. So it's a YouTube video.
I was just going to say, what is YouTube?
YouTube is a video website where companies can upload whatever videos they want.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 23, 11:50 a.m.
What is the title on page 605, record 2214?
How to clean blood from a wood floor. Google search.
And what time?
See, that search, that relates to the hole in the ceiling, in my opinion. Right? That's a wood floor. How to clean blood from a wood floor.
yeah, but he also had wood floors.
Yeah, he did as well. But I'm wondering if in that article it said, hey, you know, you can clean it off the top, but chances are it soaks through the bottom. He's like, oh, shit. Let me go cut the hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:42 a.m.
And then page 609, record 2229. What is the title?
Can I use bleach to clean my wood floors from bloodstains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023, 11:55 a.m.
And what is the title on page 638, record 2321? Yeah, sorry, the title.
What does bleach do to dead bodies? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:10 p.m.
What is the title on page 647, record 2351?
Wait, want to get away with murder? Question mark. Use special
Want to get away with murder.
detergent /Discover magazine.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:18 p.m.
What is the title on page 650, record 2364?
Is it better to throw away crime scene clothes or wash them? Google search.
Crime scene clothes.
I mean, I cannot understand why he is so stupid.
I don't know.
I just like, it's so incriminating. It's so unnecessary. It doesn't matter.
What's even like, if you look at the photos of the ones he tried to sell as the scam, they don't even look close. They're not even the same color. I mean, I'm sure to like detect fakes, you have to like like a good fake, you could tell, oh, well, the age of this paint and all this. He didn't even use the fakes did not even have the same color of them, the originals.
Yeah.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:39 p.m.
What is the title on page 657, record 2386?
How to use hydrogen peroxide on bloodstains? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:14 p.m.
And what is the title right below that, record 2387?
How to clean bloodstains with hydrogen peroxide YouTube. It's a video of those search terms.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:83 p.m.
What is the title on page 659, record 2394?
Should I use hydrogen peroxide on bloodstains in concrete? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:54 p.m.
Oops, I sped through that one.
What is the title on
I
page
don't know what-
65, record 2413?
Can the FBI tell when you accessed your phone? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 1:42 p.m.
What is the title on page 670, record 2430?
Does the dishwasher clean blood? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 1:52 p.m.
What is the title on page 671, record 2433?
Is it possible that a knife which had blood on it remains contaminated with HIV after it has been washed with hot water and dishwasher soap? Quora.
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023, 1:52 at 7 p.m.
What is the title on page 693, record 2502?
How to remove a SIM card from an iPhone. Yahoo search.
What an idiot. I'm sorry, people don't understand, right? But if you look at he's at the age that you should know, right? If you look at the iPhone, the card with the SIM card on the side has a little hole where you punch the little button and it pops it out.
He never looked at that before. I mean, you know that, and I know that, and all of our people probably know that, but that's because at some point we had to actually do something. We had to remove, or out of curiosity, we're like, there's a SIM card in this? Where could it possibly, because it's so not him.
What time of date?
January 2nd, 2023 at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And what follows that search, record 2503?
The Apple support website. Remove or switch the SIM card in your iPhone - Apple support.
Goodness, he couldn't even figure it out from the first search. The first search would have told him you pop it out, unless she had an eSIM, maybe. But no, this is back in 2022. I've got a 13. It still has a SIM card slot.
And what is the date and time for that?
January 2nd, 2023, 2 a.m. 15 seconds.
What is the title on page 694, record 2507?
How to remove a hard drive from an Apple laptop - Yahoo search results.
And what is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 2:01 a.m.
What is
You moron. Won't it look a little suspicious if your computer doesn't have a hard drive, Brian? Right? You got to get rid of the entire thing. You can't just remove the hard drive.
the title on page 699, record 2524?
TJ Maxx near me, Norwell - Yahoo search results.
What is the time and date?
January 2nd, 2023, 5:24 a.m.
What is the title on page 717, record 2580?
How long do stores keep security footage - Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 2nd, 2023, 10:32:43 a.m.
What is the title on page 724 into 725, record 2608?
How to saw a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:31 p.m.
What is the title on page 725?
Yeah, I believe it started with the 12 that you could have an eSIM in there. Polynomial purebred says newer iPhones have the virtual SIM cards.
And there's no
slot on it. Okay. But this is back in 2022. It still had a physical slot on it.
Yes.
5, record 2610.
And if it doesn't, you're screwed. It's an eSIM. Just destroy the phone, because having the phone without the SIM card is going to look just as suspicious as having a computer without a hard drive.
How to dismember a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:73 p.m.
What is the title on page 730, record 2626?
Hacksaw, the best tool for dismembering a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:33 p.m.
What is the title on page 733, record 2633?
Details of dismemberment discussed in murder trial
Oh, you're talking about Clippy? The paperclip guy? Clippy?
/ Wayne 15.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:22 p.m.
What is the title on page 735, record 2638?
Can you be charged with murder without a body - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:71 p.m.
What is the title on page 738, record 2647?
Murder conviction without a body - Wikipedia.
Come on, Brian. Now you're trying to find other historical cases. This is just like Chandler.
Futuristically fractious says, looks like you're writing a ransom note. I can help.
Yeah.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:10 p.m.
What is the title on page 738, record 2649?
No corpse - no problem. Notable murder convictions without a body -
Oh, come on. No corpse, no problem. So now he's like, oh, maybe even just getting rid of the corpse isn't enough.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:07 p.m.
What is the title on page 745, record 2670? 745, record 2670. 744, just record. Thank you very much.
Can you identify a body with broken teeth - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:46 p.m.
What is the title on page 746 into 747, record 2674?
Disposing of a body in the trash - Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:14 p.m.
What is the title on page 769, record 2747?
Chatham West Apartments Rentals - Brockton, MA, Zillow. The Claremont Apartments Rentals, Abington, Mass, Zillow. What powder mass smells the best?
Okay, so now I've cut it out. It's just the searches now. Let me back it up 1 second so, in case you can. So these are going to just be rapid fire searches.
Apartments Rentals, Abington, Mass, Zillow. What powder mass smells the best? Google search. Can I mix white vinegar to stop smells? Google search. Can baking soda make a dead body smell good? Google search.
Smell good? You just...
It can't make you smell good. That I guarantee.
Cleaning up blood without leaving a trace - 5 tips, aftermath services. Are footprints easy to wash away? Google search. How long for a dismembered body to decompose? Yahoo search results. Body found at trash station. Yahoo search results. Can a body decompose in a plastic bag? Yahoo search results. Can police get your search history without your computer? Google search.
Should have searched that one first, sir.
I'm sorry. Does a cell phone track your historical location? Yahoo search results.
Are there any searches from January 4th at 8:03 p.m. to January 7th at 3:58 p.m.?
I don't believe so. Thank you. There's not.
And then starting at January January 7th at 3:58 p.m. What is the first search?
That's listed here. It says Chase credit card login, Google search.
And can you give us a page and a record number?
Yes, in the book, page 906, record number 3195.
Thank you. So did you look at any searches prior to January 1st?
Yes. January 1st, 2023, 3:50:06 a.m. And then the following is about an hour later.
Thank you. Now looking at page, can you tell me the title being looked at?
Yep. It says cheating wife seduces another man to impregnate her. Scarlet Scandal, Seth Gamble, Erotica X-Pornhub.com.
So he's looking up porn about a cheating wife. He might be a cuck. I don't know. But it definitely seems like he understands his wife is having an affair.
And is kind of cool with it. He's leaning into it, it seems.
He's leaning into it, yep.
And what is the date and time?
12/27/2022, 12:06:28 a.m.
And what is this?
It says chat with Miss_B in a live adult video chat room now.
Interesting.
And what time is that?
12:06:28 a.m. on December 27th, 2022.
So it's interesting when he decided to feel sexy about this.
Yes, it's there for about 7 or so minutes.
Thank you. And page 2.
This just got kinky. Where's Sex Derek when you need him? Oh, we got him here.
I want to start feeling your boobs.
1242, record 891. What is that title, please?
Best divorce strategies for men, Yahoo search results.
And what is the date?
December 27th, 2022, 8:33:53 p.m. Best state to divorce for a man, Google search. 5 best and 5 worst states to get divorced in the U.S.
Trifling temptress. Is the porn happening mid-Dismember? No, they're saying it's happening on December 27th. So
Yes,
this
it's
is
actually
4 days before the murder.
Yeah. It's not as funny that way, but Junkie says, how do I tug on my private area to completion?
How do I play with my own wang?
How do I tug my junk until the end?
Washington, D.C. divorce laws, Google search.
What does the Safari history show to you between those record numbers?
They're all showing websites regarding divorce advice, mistakes in divorce, using verbal abuse, don't split up like this, the 10 stupidest mistakes men make facing divorce. It's all divorce related.
Thank you. So if we look at page...
No, so it doesn't sound like it's like some kind of collaborative thing. It does it, as the defense is trying to say. If you're trying to figure out the mistakes, I mean, if this is a plan for you and your wife where you're both, on board with it, why are you trying to make sure that you're not going to get screwed?
And why would you be so on board when you're so in love?
Yeah, that is a good point.
259, record 951.
So it's a Google search for Chase login credit card, and then it does a redirect to the Chase that does it again. It's duplicated.
Okay. And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022 at 8:57:13 p.m. Yes, showing all Chase account information, the Chase website for the account.
What is the title?
Replay poker - Google search.
Replay poker. Now, I'm not sure I forgot to search that. Replay, is that a gambling site? Let's see. Replay poker. Yeah, it's online gambling. So that's probably where all his money went.
And what is the date and the time?
12/31/2022, 6:53 p.m.
He's day gambling. It's not even late night.
Your Honor, I am about to change topics. Would this be a good time to stop for lunch?
Sure.
Guarino, I just want to finish with that.
Lunch.
Can you just remind me of the exhibit number in front of you on the binder?
Yes, it's Exhibit 79.
I just want to finish with Exhibit 79 with going back to initially on page 598, record 2193. If you could just tell me the title for that.
Yes, Patrick Kearney, Google search.
Okay. And going then to page 600, record 2198.
Yes, this is Patrick Kearney, Wikipedia.
And could you please tell me the date and time for that?
Yes, January 1st, 2023, 11:30:57 a.m.
And in the course of your investigation, did you do anything to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
I went to the Wikipedia site that the user of the laptop went to.
And what did you learn?
That Patrick
Overruled.
Kearney was called the trash bag killer.
Thank you. Trpr, I want to ask you if you were able to, I want to ask you about what day you received your search warrants from the court. You had previously told us that it was January 10th of 2023. Is that correct?
No, I messed up the days.
What date was it?
I got the warrants on January 9th. I did the device extractions on the 10th.
Thank you. So that's still 2023?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you very much. So, Trpr Guarino, you made a forensic copy of the iPad Mini 6. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And that was item number 7 that you gave in the lab. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And I have to apologize. This is as far as I could get in editing. I only got through several hours, so there might be some boring stuff here.
And after getting that search warrant on January 9th, how did you make the forensic copy of the device of the iPad Mini 6?
So I used Greykey, which is specialized hardware in OS and Apple product model.
That point. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's in an encrypted zip file. January 7th.
Based on knowing how this goes, I'm just going to skip forward.
And what was the password for that device?
121212.
And after making a forensic copy of the data, what did you do with the iPad that the police received from Brian Walshe on January 7th?
Devices were returned to Brian Walshe. Goes through and creates a PDF. When we plug that
iPad, whose Apple ID was associated with it?
Yes, I did.
And what was the Apple ID?
brw@10saleconsulting.com.
All right, so his Apple ID is logged into the different Apple devices, which is why they sync up, but the search wasn't necessarily done on these devices where they found it. So, because you know why? He probably deleted it from his own device because he's an idiot. He didn't realize that it was syncing up.
Tell us all over again.
Yeah.
Sure.
That you sought. You limited the dates to 12/25/22 through January 8th of 2023 for the data that you could look at. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so you followed those dates when you were doing your search.
Yes, you're able to edit the information down to that set time frame.
And so you did an examination of the web history for the iPad Mini. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So you did it for both initially for when Mr. Walshe had given you the device, and then you did it again when you sought a search warrant. You did 2 extractions of that and analysis, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And Your Honor, that has been marked as exhibit number.
The
difference, report 1 and report 2, when those were done.
Yes. And just go to the next page here. Is post that. This has a date of.
And what makes the PDF reports different besides one was given to police and one was based on a search warrant?
So Cellbrite and all of these companies, they come out with constant software updates. This is a far older version of Cellbrite that I used. This is just a newer version, so it might have some columns extra that the older version didn't have. It's the same information, but it's just extra. It may have an extra column of information. That's the only difference.
So the
history, it's whatever was there from that date and time frame.
Okay. And the binder, you said that the binder contains the web history from the iPad. And what had you looked at with the MacBook? Also web history?
Yes, it's the Safari Web. It's just called a little different in Axiom, just how they name it.
Okay. And what did you find between the MacBook and the iPad web history?
So the web history for the iPad, other than numerous more YouTube videos, had the same searches that we saw that are in the MacBook.
Were you able to determine which device, the laptop, meaning the MacBook, or the iPad, the searches originated from?
Yes, I was.
How?
So initially, I had only looked at the iPad first and had believed that they possibly had come from that. By extracting the database from each device and then loading it into a SQLite browser, which is another program to just view the databases, I was able to see that the MacBook had a designation of 0, showing that it originated on MacBook, whereas the iPad did not have that. It had an unknown source.
All right, so we know the searches came from the MacBook.
And what did that indicate to you?
That the MacBook, all of these searches that were done on the MacBook were native to that machine, not from another device coming over.
So what did that indicate that had happened with the iPad?
Well, that due to the Apple IDs being the same in both devices, the iPad during setup must have had the sync function on because it was able to sync the web history to the iPad, but not the iPad to the MacBook.
And what does sync mean?
Synchronize. Apple your phone, your laptop, and your iPad. It shares all the information, so you're not constantly switching between devices.
If a user does not change the settings, the data.
Yeah, I mean, that's great and all, but Apple, I still have trouble with my passwords, Apple. I would really like you to look into that because I saved the damn password on my phone and then I try and log in on my computer, which is supposed to have my passwords here, and it doesn't do it every time. So thank you, Apple.
Data can sync across devices that are signed in with the same Apple ID. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So if you look back at the big binder, that being Exhibit 79650. Yeah, 2364, I should have said. In that URL, it says channel equals iPad underscore BM and source. What does that mean?
So it's reading that channel is iPad underscore BM. BM stands for bookmark or favorites. So it's that the Google search engine is a favorite in the iPad.
Does that show that the search originated on the iPad then?
No.
I've done that, Drunky the Bear. I've gone into my settings on iCloud and my phone. I've tried turning it all on.
So why is that appearing?
But some of the stuff gets saved in Chrome. Some of them get saved on my phone. It's just a nightmare.
Not 100% sure of why Apple codes it.
Crazy is that Apple is on your nuts constantly, like do this and like set up your this and like when I tried to do that shared album and then you go to do it, it's like none of it works. Like why didn't you just leave me alone?
Right. Like I found that once I turned on iCloud here for passwords, it's always asking me on my computer, enter the 6-digit thing, and I do it, but it doesn't know because the password's saved in Chrome. I'm like,
That's why, but it's that the iPad and the MacBook are synced, so the iPad has Google as its saved bookmark search engine.
Thank you. iPhone SE pursuant to a search warrant?
Yes.
And these are Apple products?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And are you familiar with an iMessage?
Yes, I am.
And what is the difference between an iMessage and a text message?
So the iMessage is going from Apple device to Apple device, whereas a text message is going Apple device to an Android. You'll know this if you have an Apple phone, you get the blue messages. And if you send it to someone who doesn't have an Apple phone, you're getting the text box is green.
So what was...
It's not entirely true. It's sent over the cellular network as an SMS message versus...
West is saying he's wrong.
Yeah, he is wrong.
the process that you followed to make a forensic copy of the phones?
The same as the iPad, plugged it into GrayKey, did the extraction, and then from there, saved.
No, futuristic. Okay, come on. Everyone, I have tried that. It doesn't work.
To our server and would be able to load it up later into Celebrate to analyze it.
Same process.
That's exactly.
Okay. And could you forensically copy both phones at the same time?
No, as I said, we only have one GrayKey machine, so we have to do one device at a time.
Okay. And then were you able to look at the device on a program like Celebrate?
Yes, that's what I use, Celebrate Physical Analyzer.
And had you previously viewed the
I have an iPhone
data on the iPhone Mini 13?
I did a cursory look with Trpr Cognitive, but I didn't go deep into it.
Okay. And how had you accessed the iPhone 13 Mini previously?
iPhone, the same way. It's through GrayKey, downloaded it, and Celebrate Physical Analyzer to view it.
But had Mr. Walsh given that to police?
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Okay. And when was that?
January 6th or 7th? January 6th, I'm sorry.
Okay.
2023.
Number for that iPhone 13 Mini?
Yes, I was.
And do you know the phone number?
Yes.
And what is that phone number?
617-939-8646.
And what is the Apple ID for that phone?
Well, the phone wouldn't sync to those other two devices.
Did you examine the device to see if the iPhone Mini 13 was used on January 1st and 2nd of 2023?
Yes, I did.
And how did you do that?
I pared it down by date and then looked at the device events.
And were you able to prepare a report?
Yes, I was.
And how did you prepare that report?
I exported the device events from the phone from Celebrate Physical Analyzer too.
So basically, he plugged it in, unplugged it. So
the event type is what the phone records, what it did.
Wasn't missing his phone.
What is AC charger?
So line 5 shows AC.
If we could see Knowledge C and Biome?
Yes, it's two different locations how Apple stores data. Knowledge C is the main database. Biome is a secondary repository for the information.
And what is deleted?
If the event was deleted from the phone.
Going through the report, what event was associated with this device on January 1st, 2023 at 7:57 a.m.? And these are all converted UTC times, correct, for Eastern Standard Time?
That's correct. If you look, it says UTC -5 in the parentheses.
Thank you. So 7:57 a.m. So that's device number 2?
Yes. So it shows, wanted to show the same items. One just shows the start time, 7:57 a.m. The device lock status, the phone was unlocked.
And how long was it unlocked?
Approximately 2 minutes.
And what time does the device become locked?
7:59:45 a.m.
And after the device becomes locked, what happens next to it?
8:09:12 a.m. on January 1st, it is plugged in.
And then what happened?
It recorded 2 charging things 2 seconds apart. And then after at 11:23 a.m., the device is unlocked again.
Okay, and then what happens?
It is then locked at 11:24:15.
And then what happens?
The device is 12:38:40. It's unlocked again on the 1st.
And then what happens?
And then it's locked again at 12:39:20 on the 1st. And then unlocked
We're about to get into the cross.
January 2nd at 2:25 p.m.
How can an iPhone be unlocked?
There's 2 ways, Face ID or by inputting the passcode. Metal, tissue, and I believe hair.
And how large were those bags?
The
Oops, sorry.
metal,
Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to the Trooper, in addition to your digital forensics work on this case, did you transport evidence from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to the crime lab?
yes, I did.
And generally, what did you pick up?
I believe there was 7 bags of rug, some metal, tissue, and I believe hair.
And how large were those bags?
The bags of rug were like not as big as a long leaf bag, but a large brown bag, and the other ones were smaller.
And when was that?
January 11th of 2023
And where did you take those?
to the Maynard Crime Lab.
And what did you do when you arrived at the lab?
I turned them over to Crime Lab staff and filled out their intake paperwork.
And did you submit those for processing?
Yes, that's correct.
And you got a receipt for that you
Yes.
dropped those off?
Yes, they gave me their a copy of the intake form.
If I might have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right. On to the next.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross-exam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I think I'm going to stay here for a while so we get a good recording. I want to talk to you about this timeline, this date that you referred to. You applied for a warrant from 12/25 to January 8th of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
And when I said 12/25, of course, I meant 12/25/22.
Yes, yeah, 2022.
And when you draft a warrant, you are the one that picks the dates, correct?
Depending on the investigation, it can be yes.
Okay. And you were asked that question, that you applied for the warrant, and those were the dates that you requested.
Yes.
Now, it's fair to say, isn't it, that once you began an investigation in a case, and if you learn more information, there's nothing stopping you from going back to a court and applying for a further warrant, correct?
It would depend because the courts have shown that we need to have a specific time frame, so I would need some information to show why I would need to go back to write for an earlier time.
Okay, well, but if you have that further information, nothing stops you from going back to the court and asking for a different warrant that encompasses different time periods.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, now, one of the things is that you don't have any information to tell this juror about of any of the data on the MacBook that originated before December 25th of 2022.
Confused by your question, so sorry. Yeah.
The data that you're telling this jury about today, you've said it a couple of times now, it's limited to 12/25/22 through January 8th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So that's the data you're talking about, correct?
Yes, I only viewed that information.
You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that you have the entire contents of the MacBook, don't you?
I do have the contents.
And how far a date does the content go back on the MacBook?
I have no idea. I didn't look.
Because you limited your warrant to 12/25/22.
That's correct.
So if you thought, as an officer involved in an investigation, that there might be some important information that predates 12/25/22, you have every right, and there's procedure for you to go back to the court and explain to the court why you think there might be more information back before 12/25, and see if you could get a warrant to cover that earlier information.
If I had information showing that there was more, then I could, yes.
And you never did.
I don't believe I had any other information showing that I needed to.
And you didn't have any information that you thought it would be important to your investigation to go back before December 25th, did you?
For my role, that's correct.
Okay. So when we heard about, for instance, this Pornhub search that occurred on 12/27, remember that?
Yes, sir.
And we heard about some other Pornhub reviews. Like Chatterday, correct?
That's correct.
And something about Miss Bell, correct?
About what?
Miss Bell?
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I'm sorry, Miss B.
I still don't remember, but okay.
Okay. Do you remember seeing record 831? Do you have, I apologize.
I don't have that book up here to see it.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember seeing also a reference in the very same data that you've told the jury about that talked about a movie called, or something called Slade, Dominant, Scarlet?
I would have to see it, but could I double check it?
32.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
What was it? I'm sorry.
832.
Oh, record 832.
Record
I thought you said
8. No, no, it's on page 227.
Thank you. All right, I'm there. And yep.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Sure.
So now I want to focus your attention to record 831
Yes.
on page 226. That reference, do you have that?
I do, sir. Thank
And it references something called Slade, Dominant, Scarlet, Straps, Cecilia, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you didn't testify about that to the jury, did you? Today, on direct examination.
No, I wasn't asked.
Sir, isn't it correct that he had multiple porn addictions? What is this?
You would agree with, wouldn't you, that when you look at these searches involving Pornhub, that in fact, there's a number of, and I keep referring to them as searches, but let me just ask this. There's a number of web pages that refer to what I'm going to characterize as pornography, correct?
It's about 10.
Correct.
Yeah, he had a wide variety of kinks. What is this? I don't get this.
And
That just means that, like, you shouldn't hold it against him that he killed his wife and chopped her up.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is, like, if we find a search in there for Little Red Riding Hood, right, we shouldn't assume that he's actually got a Little Red Riding Hood porn fixation, or like he's out there looking for her, right?
Right.
Okay. It's just fantasy. And he just happens to have the fantasy about the cheating wife, but that doesn't mean he knows anything about it.
Fantasies about how to clean up murder scenes.
Yes.
I want to take off your
The
shirt
men-
and bra.
What?
Very turned on by cleaning things.
Yes.
am I right to say that that cheating wife reference, what's the entire title of the cheating wife reference?
Cheating wife seduces another man to impregnate her. Scarlet Scandal, Seth Gamble, Erotica X, Pornhub.com.
Do you have any idea how that particular porn movie, whatever it is, do you know how it came about?
Oh, say it was in his favorites.
The only thing I say is that Pornhub was viewed and that video was selected.
Okay. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that there is no specific search term for cheating wife, is there?
Well, there you have it, folks. Not guilty.
Well, it wasn't in a Google search. It was through Pornhub, so it doesn't record that.
Okay, so your answer is I agree with you, or yes.
That there's no specific terms listed? That is correct. The video was there.
Because you've already told this jury and they saw it in a number of exams.
Yeah, what's the video? Let's go show it in court.
Lights go down.
Yeah.
That when the user enters a particular search term, the user, that it's a particular word, and then there's generally a plus sign that attaches it to the next search term, correct?
Mr. Defense Attorney, I'm going to go ahead and bet that Pornhub's algorithm or whatever has based on Brian's viewing history, has procured what might interest him and put it in front of him. So maybe he didn't search for it today, but he probably searched for it yesterday. You know what I mean? It's
only in the Google.
Searched for it today, but he watched it today.
And you know what? He clicked on it, so obviously they knew what they were doing.
Search engine.
Okay. And with regard to this movie Cheating Wife, there is no indication that the term cheating or the term...
Just a heads up, we've got about 20 minutes of raw footage left, so for those of you trying to plan your night.
Wife or anything else was used to get to that movie.
As I said, I can't view any terms that were put into Pornhub, so it only shows me that search
Let's try and get those likes above 100 people.
query in Google.
And let me ask you this, part of your investigation, did you ever go and view some of that movie?
No, I did not.
Oh, but you
Oh, didn't you, sir? So how do you even know there was a cheating wife in that porno video, sir?
This witness reminds me, when he smiles, especially, of Michael Peterson, the stare.
Oh, yes. A much younger version of Michael. Yep, exactly. I see it. I totally see it.
Yeah.
I don't see some of your other comparisons, but I see this one.
Yeah.
did testify that there were times when for other searches, you went and followed the document and the links and you reviewed the document.
That's correct.
But with regards
The jury starts passing around popcorn. I'm just imagining the one guy who doesn't know about technology. He's furiously writing like, "Wait, how do you view this?
Yeah, there's porn on the internet.
This is free."
this movie, you have no idea what this movie is about, correct?
That's correct.
And you don't know then, prior to December 25th, 2022, how many times, whoever was looking at the backup, how many times they frequented porn movies at Pornhub, did you?
I didn't look at any data prior to December 25th.
Well, defense, did you go ahead and extract and find out that this is the first time you'd ever viewed it?
And you don't know.
Because unless you're going to present that, I don't care.
How long this person that was looking at this movie, how long they viewed the movie, or if they
this person
the was going to, but they got caught up at the first search with the first video. So
yeah, this person, what are you saying is his 6-year-old? Are you saying it's his wife is doing it? What
you did it all?
I do. It shows me a time frame of 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes. And how long is the movie?
I have no idea.
Well, someone started watching that movie. They watched it for 7 minutes, and that was the end of it. Is that your testimony?
It's probably all he needed.
That's correct. And then I went to a dip
that's
that Slay.
what Lazy Gamer was saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Slade Dominant Scarlet video.
Okay, and that's Slay Scarlet. Do you recognize the fact that there is some actress referred to with regards to the cheating wife thing that's also named Scarlet?
That's correct.
So it's fair to say, isn't it, that you have no idea as you sit here today whether the person who is looking at this porn hub video, if they're trying to get access to movies that have perhaps their favorite actress or anything else of the sort, do you?
They need some parental restrictions on there.
Come on.
I don't know who this person is.
You know?
Just admit it was your client. I mean, I don't know why you're bringing this up, sir.
I have no idea.
So
that's correct. I don't.
It doesn't diminish the fact that he looked at it, right?
No, also, it doesn't matter that he looked at it. It matters that he killed his wife, and that they always do this.
And he cut up her body.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about this till the cows come home, but you're still going to have to address the other things.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Compass Realty.
And quite frankly, Trooper, isn't it fair to say when you open up some website like Pornhub, it comes open and it has all of these possible selections you can make?
I don't know.
Right, and he chose that one.
Not a peruser of Pornhub, but sure it has options.
So you have no idea what options were presented to the person that opened up this page.
Maybe it was only cheating wife options that he had to select from. Come on.
No, I don't.
But yet,
See, I would lean into, like, if anything, if an argument had to be made about this, I would just be saying, so obviously he was fine with his wife cheating.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most obvious way to handle this.
Yeah, if you must.
He was into it, right?
I mean,
Say
I wouldn't
that.
address it at all, probably, but if I were to address it, would be my angle.
Futuristically fractious saying he's trying to distract from the murder searches. I mean, I don't think you could do enough. You're never going to get away.
They always do this.
But this isn't helping at all. Forget about the other searches.
It's not like this search is good either.
I mean, it's not like
He's not searching places to donate my liver. Places to do charity work for
children's charity.
Yeah,
top-rated children's charity. No, he's looking top ways to get rid of a dead body.
Or watch your wife fucking someone else. Like, also not good.
And we know he is very on the nose with his searches and clicks. He is not randomly clicking. Like there's nothing in between about bring your lawn back to life this winter, or like
Nothing. He's not an enigma. This guy.
Yeah. Well. Okay. What?
Bring your lawn back after summer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or whatever.
Compass Realty Hitman totally skipped over the Asian ops. I mean, murder. Maybe. But if it was the only other options recommended to him were Asian, he just wanted this one. He wanted the actress that was featured there. Maybe he's just racist. Like he doesn't. It's not a cuck.
I mean,
actually, I don't even know that you would qualify as racist if you just don't want to watch Asian porn. Like I don't know.
I mean,
It's just so stupid. This argument is so stupid.
But yet it was important enough to include it in the data that you put into that binder.
With the information that we knew, yes.
And that information,
Yeah, because it's relevant for the guy that killed his wife looking up cheating wife porn. Yes, that is relevant.
let's just cut to the chase here. It's because of the word cheating wife.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah, duh. The lawyer is so dramatic and he is so angry.
just the fact that there was a phrase involving cheating wife, that to you was something that, okay, let's just include that in all the stat and throw it out, correct?
No.
So you didn't take the time to look to see what the movie was about. I understand that, correct?
That's correct.
Well, what do you think it's about, sir? You didn't even watch the movie to see what the main subject was. Maybe they were doing crafts, right?
Didn't take the time to see if the actor in the other movie, Slay, Dominant, whatever, was the same actress in the other, right?
That's correct.
So you really just said, oh, I see the phrase.
You know what you need to do now, defense attorney? You need to present evidence that it was the same actress or actor. Maybe he's gay, right? Like, provide something that it is the same.
Cheating wife. And so I think that's important. It's all included in my data.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. It's a time
I'll see you at the sidebar, side of the bench.
So, first, my apologies, because I'm afraid that my questions is misleading and should. Okay. This binder that has been marked as an exhibit contains the entire contents of what you found on the MacBook between the dates of 12/25/22 and January 8th of 2023.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So when I suggested in my question that you, sir, selected certain things, that is completely wrong, isn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. And so I should have used this word. You would agree that you were focused on, by the question, you were focused on the title cheating wife, right?
Yes, I was asked that in direct.
Oh. But you were never focused on direct examination as to the other porn movie, the Slay Dominant or whatever the content is there.
That's correct.
And since you decided not to go back prior to December 25th of 2022, you really can't tell this jury how many times and how many different movies were viewed on this MacBook porn
It's not entirely true.
because of the 12 visits.
That's correct. So I could look at visits and it could tell me Pornhub was visited. I'm just trying to look here to see how many times. And then it would also tell me, the video would also tell me how many visits. But I'm not sure if that's the entirety of the Spire history or just what I've collected.
Right. You're not sure if it's the entirety of what? Finish that sentence.
The web history that's in the device, yes.
So you just don't know.
That's correct. I didn't go back.
And well, you testify to on direct examination.
Okay.
Let's just start with the iPad Mini 13, device number 5. That's been marked as Exhibit 81. You told the jury about the events that you looked at, the event log that you created, correct?
Yeah, so it was an iPhone Mini 6, not a Mini 13. The phone was the Mini 13.
Okay. And well, you told us about Exhibit 81 being locked and unlocked, correct?
Yes, for the iPhone.
Okay. And you told us about how it could be locked or unlocked using either a password or face recognition.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, it's a 6-year-old?
And
Is it the 6-year-old, Mr. Defense Attorney? Just say it. We could save a bunch of time. Just say it's the 6-year-old that's doing all this stuff.
How long did it stay unlocked and then locked in the time period that you looked at?
I would have to see the report again, but I believe it's a couple minutes for each.
Okay. And did you ever determine what was being done on the phone during the time it was unlocked?
Again, I'd have to look at the Cellbrite report to see other activity or go through the timeline view to see what the phone was doing. I didn't do a full invest into the phone. Trpr Keefe did.
I see. So Trpr Keefe can tell us about that.
I think so.
All right.
And wouldn't you believe it? He's going to be a witness tomorrow. So I think we'll hear about it.
These guys are such tools. This whole
What?
police department, whatever.
You don't like this police department? I don't know. I think they're doing all right.
They seem all right to me.
It's a layup, but
Well, I mean, just in general, their general body of work is not good.
oh, okay, gotcha.
They don't have to be good to catch.
Do you
this.
think? Here's the question: do you think mentions of Karen Reed is going to come up in this trial? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think it's legal. You can't do that. But
they've mentioned Proctor, who I thought was the lead investigator, but he wasn't. He was an assistant.
no, the guy yesterday, Schmidt is the lead, right?
Right. But they haven't mentioned. They're not going to mention that he's been terminated or any of that. They can't.
We'll see.
I don't think they can, but we'll see.
I think they will if they can. I think they'd be like,
If they can, yes, of course, but they didn't in the Karen Reed.
no.
They also have another, they have that whole thing with that other young woman who was found murdered by one of theirs.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, she was groomed since she was a minor, and it's a big mess. Not good. Yeah. I forget her name at the moment, but it'll come to me.
Yeah, Chicken Chat, you're right. They can call him. I don't think they will.
It's fair to say that using
They will.
Cellbrite, the software you told us about, you can create reports that include certain information and exclude other information.
Yes.
And you can create reports, so to speak, with the Cellbrite software that are restricted by date, correct?
That's correct.
And you can do term searches, correct?
Yes.
You can.
Well, I was thinking my question was going to be if you're doing like an entire phone search or you're just looking, say, messages or web history, because there's different places to search these terms or whatever you're looking for, say a phone number or whatever.
Okay. So you can decide what information you want to look at using Cellbrite, and then whatever information you're looking at, you can dictate what terms you think are important to search for, and then you can search for it.
Yes, if I had specified terms that I need to look for, yes.
And did you do a term search on the MacBook for instance, divorce?
No. For the MacBooks, I didn't do any term searches. I just did my timeline from what was allowed in the warrant.
Are you aware of the fact that, well, let me ask you this. On that MacBook that you told us about sometime, the reference to divorce and all these things we heard on direct examination, that only occurred on 12/27/2022. Is that fair to say?
I can only say what I've looked for from that time frame. If anything happened prior, I don't know.
But my question is, what you testified to, the references that you were asked multiple times on direct examination regarding divorce only occurred on 12/27.
That's correct from what I have.
And what was the time period? For where all those searches you told us about, referencing divorce, what was the time period?
I don't remember the exact time. I believe it was around 11 o'clock in the morning, but I could be mistaken. I would have to look.
What was the time period that was encompassed that covered the entire divorce searches that you referenced on direct examination?
As I said, I don't know the exact time. I would have to look to see.
And what time did those divorce searches that you referenced in direct examination, what time did they occur?
Again, I'd have to look at the notes to see the exact date and times.
But you would agree they only occurred on 12/27.
I believe that's the one they all happened, yes.
And one of the searches that you told the jury about had to do with something like 10 best states.
I think it was 5, but yes, 5 best states.
Did you take the time to look at those documents that refer to those searches?
I don't know if I looked at all of the divorce ones. I did look at some.
And you would agree that if someone were to be searching for divorce, they could be searching for the topic of divorce and how divorce might affect protection of family assets. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but they didn't put protection of family assets in the search. They put how to best do it for a man. This is so stupid.
Could that?
Yes.
It could, yes.
And are you aware, Drew, as you sit here today,
Are you aware?
that around that time of December 27th, are you aware of the fact that Brian Walshe and Andy Warhol were talking about the sale of one of their properties?
I did see Zillow searches in the MacBook for apartments in DC, I believe, but I didn't know anything about sales.
Okay, did you ever take the time to examine the phone that belonged to Brian Walsh?
Again, does it,
To form.
Is that,
Sustained, specify what you're talking about, counsel.
what are the phones that you examined that were associated with Brian Walsh?
as I said, I only did a cursory look through the iPhone 13 regarding the device events, and that was about it.
So is that, would Trooper Keith know more about that?
Yes, he did most of the mapping. Yes, that's true.
And he'll be on the stand tomorrow.
So I guess my next question is, are you aware of text messages between Brian Walsh and Anna Walsh encompassing the dates of December 25th and December 30th of 2022?
No, there were none in the devices that I looked at.
So when you were asked questions about your review of the MacBook and references to
Oh, Seema, don't tell me what's a good case for me and not for me.
I know what's good for you.
the divorce on or around 12/27, you, as you sit here today, you have no idea what was going on in text messages between Anna Walsh and Brian Walsh.
That's correct.
Sky flash.
And you said you reviewed some of the documents.
I just got off a 42-minute phone call with a probation officer who hugged me through the phone and thanked me for all I've done and continue to do.
Hug me. And thank me. We talked about how wonderful I am.
Documents that specifically reference what states were more beneficial when it comes to fees and the timing for Judge Manisi and things like that in the context of the case.
Unless it was listed on the webpage, I didn't see any specific searches for that itself.
And did you, as you sit here today, do you recall reading any documents associated with those divorce searches that had to do with protecting assets of family?
No, I looked at these years ago. I haven't looked at them since.
He's still here fighting. Not FBI.
Here, I'm still fighting.
Well, this section is kind of boring, but might as well add.
Did you just say the sex was kind of boring?
No, this section is kind of boring. I know there's a lot of drama going around about third rail and all that kind of stuff, and me and people denouncing all that kind of stuff. I mean, I literally don't give a shit. I went on their Patreon and had a conversation, and people are making up whatever narrative they want about that. But
yeah,
I'll just say things are going to eventually reveal themselves to be as they are. I've never revealed any of the emails I have in the background because that's not what I do unless I need to. So people making up stuff about whatever I did, it's fine. I don't give a shit. Sorry.
Now, did someone say something? I didn't even see if there was a.
No, I mean, there's like Derek pointed out, like people are making comments now trying to like rewrite the narrative. I really don't care.
No, and there aren't that many. I get what, of course, I understand what Derek was saying, but there aren't that many, and I think it will be interesting to just sit back and watch this whole thing implode.
I mean, based on their last post where they're bringing Nicole in, I don't see how that's a good idea. I gave them genuine feedback that was 100% non-biased against them. I told them, this is what the problem, this is what you did. This is the problem. Here's what you should do.
And you're not the only person to say that.
Right. But they're convinced of a different narrative that doesn't involve any of their own actions. So
reminds me of someone. It's weird.
Searches that you were asked about on direct examination coming from the MacBook and the data that you extracted.
Several posts, and comments on videos or Reddit or whatever. Let's just say I have no problem with any of the other creators somehow, right? I don't have any beef with any of them.
Nope.
Yeah, there's only one person that has beef with me, right? And I've never made it public.
Nobody's ever, to my knowledge, done or said anything to me or, I mean, I stay pretty much away from it, so.
Yeah.
Searches that had to do with Chase.
I mean, I tend to
I have
not
an affiliation with you, so.
Well, I tend to not step away from it. Nicole, the Beacon of Valor, she's coming on to them. They're doing it like an AMA on every Sunday or something. No, I just say what's on my mind, and honestly, I do.
Thank you for everyone.
It's I haven't seen anything about Schmidt.
I mean, nothing I can do. I don't care.
Oh, there's a section on the hub. Oh, it's just, look, I'll be honest. This channel, it does support towards my son's college, right? And so, like, when there's threats made, like, I have to take that seriously in terms of, like, I can't screw up this channel, right? So, I mean, I'm not Mr. Smith goes to Washington. I'm going to stand up wherever. I'm just like, okay, well, I got to deal with this in the way I got to deal with it. So,
Recall those questions.
but I am not posting any videos about demands of what they want.
The Chase Bank.
Don't forget to click like if you want Hear Me Out son to be able to attend college.
Yes. Well, second semester. Right? So
Yes.
And
If he did, he might.
it's fair to say that by looking at the data that you based your direct testimony, you cannot tell at all what specific data is being reviewed.
Again, if I can see the websites listed, sometimes it'll say you're in the accounts dashboard. It could list out, but again, I'd have to see exactly what you're describing.
Cooper, I guess the reason I'm asking, let me ask you this way. You investigate a case, correct?
Yes.
You're charged with looking at data like this, and you use specialized forensic tools
I'll address it at the end more.
to look at the data, correct?
Yes.
And you're trained to look at the data and try to interpret what the data is, correct?
Yes.
And then you share that information, don't you, with the Commonwealth, correct?
Correct.
And so now you were brought in here as a witness, and you were just asked questions about all of these searches that occurred regarding Chase, correct?
Yes.
And is it your testimony
Before
that
you
the
hit like
Commonwealth never sat down with you and said, tell us what you can tell us about what's being looked at on those Chase searches?
I wasn't asked to explain every Chase website to them.
Not drums.
But were you asked a simple question? Can
Wow.
you tell us what the person actually viewed with regards to a Chase account?
Again, if I see the data, I can explain it, but I can't say everything.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand your question then.
Well, have you sat down with the Commonwealth in the context of this specific case and those Chase searches and tried to explain to them what it is as the digital expert in the case, what was being viewed on the Chase accounts?
Just that
I
Chase had been
wonder if
the
he's-
website.
Mimic. I know you didn't watch the trial, but I wonder if he's trying to do an Alan Jackson thing, like from the Karen Reed, because he was, heated like this, but for good reason.
Right. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
I didn't watch
but
Karen
for
Reed,
him-
so I'll have to take
Yeah.
your word for it.
I mean, he's nothing like this because, obviously, but it just occurred to me that might be something that's going on here. I don't know.
And Skyflash asked what his major is before I click like my son's a music major, which
Yeah, I mean, you can't just invest in a click before knowing.
right. But I'm shocked by the amount of classwork and hours he has to do because he's doing much. He goes to Indiana University. He's in the marching band, right? Like he's doing like 14 hours. I couldn't imagine doing that. Like college was laid back for me in terms of like I had my courses and I do my homework, right? But I couldn't do what he's doing.
I don't do 14 hours of anything.
In Indiana, going to the championship. And by the way, shout out to my Lake Stephen homies, which I don't know where the button is. Maybe this one. Not that one. Lake Stevens football undefeated, 13-0 on the season, going to the state championship again this Sunday or Saturday. It's the third time we've been to the championship in 4 years.
For the Chase account had been visited.
Chicken Shade had a baby and 3 jobs in college, so up yours.
Well, whatever.
That's correct.
What kind of
And
jobs?
clearly majored in art.
She's probably poli-sci.
Yeah, Sky Flash is true. But,
You would agree with me then that when search results appear, they can lead the viewer, the user, to then follow that link and go someplace else, correct?
It's going to be based on the search term, and then it can send you to something similar, but not exactly what you wrote.
And is that when you told the jury about redirect?
That's correct.
And so when a user gets redirected to some other website or something, that's
Okay,
not
chicken shite.
okay, all right, we get it.
You got your CPA. Well, just because I didn't sit for the test, I am qualified to sit for it, but everyone keeps telling me it doesn't matter. So I'm like, I don't really care.
That's not a result of the user saying, I want to be redirected. That is the
A lot of
software
excuses?
doing it on its own.
Well,
No, I just happened to leave public accounting, and then there was no need to take the test because I left accounting to go to sales, and then I went back to accounting, and by then they're like, nah, nobody cares.
user would have to click on the web page for it to open for them to see it.
Right, but to be redirected, it's the algorithm or whatever's going on that directs the user to some other website.
Again, but it's going to be similar terms to what that were written. It's not like they type in, basketball and they get sent to, something about space.
Yeah, good point.
Maybe it's me.
What did you say?
He's like, they're not going to type in something about basketball and then be sent to something about space.
Right.
You know,
or cutting up your wife's body or
right. You know,
cheating
you're not
wife
looking for a good mock apple pie recipe, and then they send you how to dispose of a body if you really have to.
I'm not asking. I'm saying someone types in particular search terms, and then the software, the browser, and generates search results.
That's correct.
And at times, the browser and the software redirects the user to something that it thinks, hey, maybe this is what is relevant to what you're looking at.
Yeah, well, I doubt that somebody would be redirected to articles about cutting up a body, but unless they had interest in Mr. Defense Attorney, this is so dumb. You are saying, hey, the algorithm thought he would like to learn about cutting up bodies and hiding DNA.
YouTube videos about NASCAR, you know?
Yes, that's correct.
And I know that it doesn't cost you, but you understand that.
Yes.
And you saw instances of that in your review of the data in the back.
Yes, I don't know the exact number, but there's a handful that I saw.
And Trpr Guarino, when someone is doing a search for something like how to dispose of a body, did you follow that link to the result of that specific query?
Don't know if that specific one, but I did go to many of the ones that were listed.
And
maybe the results weren't about hiding a body. Is that what you're saying, Defense Attorney?
so as you sit here today, can you tell the jury then that if you were to put in that particular query, how to dispose of a body, that the results would include things like cemetery names or other things like that?
Show some evidence, Mr. Defense Attorney.
Well, it would constantly change. So if I did it now.
Who? I mean, is he trying to plan for a funeral? Is that what the defense attorney is literally trying to say? Being like, hey, maybe if you put in how to dispose of a body, you can end up getting some results telling you how to prepare for a funeral of a loved one. I think that's literally what he's trying to do. This is so stupid. Why wouldn't you be like, hey, how do you prepare for a funeral?
The results would be
like Sarah Boone, how do I find out about the funeral?
nothing like they were 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, that wasn't my question. Yeah. That's fine. Let me ask it again. That if someone in specific search terms like how to dispose of a body, the results could simply be, here, take the body to a cemetery, something like that.
Again, I would have to search it to see. I can't say definitively. For that specific one, no.
And so it's fair to say that when someone is using specific search terms, sometimes you have to add additional terms to get information that might be more helpful to what you're asking about.
So like adding more words? Is that what you're saying? That could be, yes.
So it could be the fact that to get more specific information about, for instance, how to dispose of a body, you would then have to add another search term like murder to get more specific information that you might be looking for.
I can't say.
So you didn't try that in your context of your investigation in this case.
Again, this was years ago that I did this, so I have no recollection of it.
But you would agree with me, wouldn't you, that just in a general context, whether we're talking about terms like murder or any other term, sometimes to get more search results, you have to add more terms.
Again, I can't say for certain.
What? So he was, but there's no searches before that, Mr. Defense Attorney. There's not like he was searching like how do you prepare for a burial and he wasn't getting the right results. So then he expanded it to like how do you get rid of a dead body? What is this line of questioning?
Nobody in that entire room has searched how to get rid of a dead body. Guaranteed.
Right.
You were asked specifically on the direct examination.
I mean,
that they
except
all
for
occurred
Ryan Walsh.
only after 4:52 a.m.
Except for the defendant.
January 1st, 2023.
That I was able to see, yes.
When you say able to see,
Well, I didn't have anything going back prior to the 25th, so I only have what was limited via the search warrant, but everything was from the 1st to about, I believe, the 4th.
but we've already been through this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you again. If you wanted to see if there was searches conducted on this network where someone is trying to figure out how to dispose of a body before January 1st of 2023, and you thought that was important to your investigation, once again, you could have gone back and applied for a warrant to see if there were, right?
Well, I'd have to show probable cause for the warrant to show why I would need to go back further than the 25th that I've already written for.
So you had no probable cause then to go back to the court and say, I have reason to believe that someone might have been trying to learn how to dispose of a body prior to January 1st of 2023 at 4:52 in the morning.
Objection.
Overruled.
That's correct.
In fact, in all of your examination of the data that you did look at, the data that you chose to limit to 12/25 and January 8th, you saw nothing in the data dating back to 12/25 that indicated any searches that were relevant to how to dispose of the body.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about anything about DNA or anything of the sort.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about how to get rid of blood.
Yes.
You saw no searches
Wait. What did you say?
how to dispose of the body. Of the data that you did look at, the data that you chose to limit to 12/25 and January 8th, you saw nothing in the data dating back to 12/25 that indicated any searches that were relevant to how to dispose of the body.
Are you? Wait a minute. Wait. I can't believe this. I hadn't heard this part. The defense attorney is saying, look, you didn't see anything about how to dispose of a body back on 12/25.
That's right.
I know what he's trying to do is my client, if he did this, wouldn't he be pre-planned? No, your client's an idiot. But the fact is he had a dead body at that point that he started doing the searches.
Isn't he being charged with second-degree murder?
No, first degree.
Oh, well, maybe that's his argument.
Okay,
He didn't plan it.
I guess.
I mean, that's all I can think of.
But you don't need to have weeks of planning. You only
Right,
have
it's a very small window. Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
You saw no searches about anything about DNA or anything of the sort.
Plus, they're not claiming he murdered her in the heat of passion, right? Like second degree murder, right? It was a natural death. So what is this doing?
Yeah. Let's try to stick with something here. Grampy said it's sad that this defense attorney actually thinks he's scoring points here.
I think he just likes to hear himself talk.
Yeah. And that.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about how to get rid of blood.
Yes.
Right. Before he was doing no searches before he was dismembering a corpse, which would indicate that he is only doing the searches after he has now committed the crime of murder, which is in his searches.
You saw no searches about how to use hydrogen peroxide to clean up.
Yes.
Yes, meaning you didn't see.
Yes, that's correct. I didn't see any.
Exactly, Goldie.
Hi, Goldie.
All he's doing is proving his client is an idiot.
Which he didn't have to prove.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
But yeah.
the Google searches themselves are.
He's also proving
naturally
that
do
he's an idiot, so there's that.
Yep. Yeah.
But you would agree then, just try to end this particular concept. And if you've referred to this jury here, probable cause to think someone had tried to plan murder, you could have gone and applied for a warrant to see if there was data on that map.
Objection.
They did. They searched 5 days before the murder.
Sustained.
And you could have also, defense, gone and asked for the search of the month before. Couldn't you have? Yeah. Jennifer, you're 100% right. That's the question they don't ask. I mean, that should be in the closing. Like, why don't you call 911? You suddenly find your spouse lifeless body that you claim to love and is not cheating on you according to your testimony, and you
But not
have
according to your porn.
no intention of divorcing because of spite or anything, because it's just about protecting the assets, which you didn't search for. Why didn't you call 911? Why was your first move to cut up the body?
In your review of the MacBook digital data, did you see anything indicating a search for a man named William Bassett?
Yes. What was that on? I believe so.
Do you recall when that search was?
I don't. I believe it was prior to January 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
So you have no recollection as you sit here today. You had a discussion with the Commonwealth about searches specific to William Bassett.
No, that's correct.
By the way, I understand these exhibits, these bindings. Sometimes they're referred to as reports, but it's a report generated by Cell, correct?
That's correct. Or Axiom.
Or Axiom.
Yeah.
And regarding the report, you never wrote any report summarizing what it was that you found on the map.
That's correct. I take it directly from the software. That way I don't make any mistakes from transcribing it from one to another.
And is it fair to say that the binder that you have there on the shelf, it's 1,034 pages long, right?
I believe so.
And it contains many, many entries referred to as records, correct?
Yes.
How many records?
I can tell you in a second. 3,677.
Out of those 3,677 records created in this Celebrate report, can you tell the jury how many of those records are relevant to your investigation specific to those?
The exact number of the records? No, I couldn't.
Can you give us an estimate?
No.
You would agree, wouldn't you, Trooper, that it's a very relatively small amount of those records, those over 3,000 records that have any relevance to the point of the investigation of this case?
No.
Well, then how many records do apply to the investigation of this case?
Again, I'd just be guessing, but I think a good portion.
And what's a good portion?
I don't know. You don't have a specific number.
Hi, David.
I got it.
Council, see if it's an event.
That's it. They talk about tomorrow, which we don't need to cover it, right? Basically, they're saying, I don't know why this is up later like this. There you go. They talk about tomorrow, who's on the witness list. They're not going to finish their case tomorrow. They're going to have more people. I think they said people from Uber, from JetBlue, and basically it's just going to be more expert witnesses saying like, no, there was never any plan to fly or all that kind of stuff. But yeah. I will. I said I would address it again here. Yeah, I have an email conversation with the third rail, and I have never released that. I had a private conversation on their, or not private. I had a conversation in their Patreon in the chat messages, which they released. I didn't release it, and I think the concerns I raised were legitimate from an outside viewer, and it's just people believe what they want to believe, and they think there's a lot of misinformation also going around of like people credited me for the calls. I sent the calls saying these were not my calls, saying they've been removed from the internet.
They were your calls.
I never claimed they were my calls. I said the channel that provided these has removed the material, which they had.
This is all on them and their original narrative, which was disgraceful in my opinion and not honest. Really, nothing has been forthcoming, like transparent, although they like that word.
And I was even offered money by these other channels for the calls. I said no, I don't give me any money. No, here, just have them right here. I've got them stored, so here you go. Put them on a Google Drive. They're still there, right? So I think this criticism of me trying to take ownership of it is not exactly true, since I specifically said these are not mine, but you have here's a copy. And also I think there's this, and this applies with you as well, Suma, the debate of like, oh, well, what's the difference of charging for Patreon versus, making money off of YouTube talking about it? Well, the difference is I'm not charging you anything. You can watch everything I do for free. I mean, other than
you've had your channel, you've discussed many things. You've had a channel for years, like
right. The same as you. Anyone can click and tune in. The stuff I put behind the members only is usually because it's just a little bit extra. It's nothing exclusive. There's nothing exclusive.
And you have to,
Yeah, give them something. Here's a little bit extra. It's a making of, right? Or it's like an old stream that I took down. Right. Or like early stuff, just like I just don't want it on the general channel. You can watch it if you want to, but I believe there's actually a difference between charging for a pay for play paywall and those that can just click on it. And then, YouTube shows you ads on my video. I'm not showing the ads. And then YouTube sends me pennies on the dollar of what they make off the ads.
Yeah, they just didn't want to take the time to get monetized and do all the work that people
Exactly,
did.
which I think was a huge mistake.
Doing the work, and it didn't go the way they thought it would. So now they're lashing out, basically. That's how I see it.
But anyway, don't. You said, don't let the haters bother you. They are users. What? Now, I don't. It's not bothering me. It's just kind of like this kind of annoying thing of like, I'm not going to address it in like its own video, right? At least not at this point. But I could easily have done that. I could easily have gone with the emails that would totally disprove the narrative that is out there being sprinkled around. Yeah. I mean, Suma, you've seen the emails. They are unhinged.
Yeah, I mean, we have all, as creators in this hemisphere, we all have a pretty close relationship. We talk to each other. We know what's going on. And if we wanted to, do a collab and discuss all of this and put it all out there, we could have done it a few times already.
Easily could have.
Yeah.
I never have to worry about Suma somehow responding to my text that I say, hey, Suma, you loved your stream. Have a good one. And then Suma coming back, go off. What are you talking about? What did you say on last night's stream?
Emails being like, you didn't give me credit. I mean, not that would come up at all, but
right.
Ridiculous.
It is. Yeah. I mean, you just kind of gravitate towards the more sane people. So
we don't agree on everything. But
no,
we work together. It's fine.
But that's why, like, if you just were an echo chamber, like X Derek is of me, that would be very, very boring.
Also,
right?
he's constantly with that. I want to take your pants or skirt on down.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a broken record. That guy.
My finger in you.
He's always violating my ears.
Yeah. And dim sum.
So someone responding that way should be a selection on what is the hub?
I'm assuming he means the porn hub, the corn hub.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, I mean, I gave them honest advice. I gave them honest feedback saying here. I mean, I showed you the email as well. I was like, this is what you should, this is the mistake. This is why everyone is seeing this in a negative light. Here's what you should have done. Here's what you should do. And I gave them 3 pretty good steps of advice. I feel like, here's how you could be totally.
You would have given me about something.
Yes. I'm like, you could do this so easily. Just do this and then just ignore all the other stuff and you could be successful. And, they didn't.
There's such a nasty undercurrent there, and it's like they are invading or trying to work, not with, but in this certain niche, but they're working against everyone. There's like this very combative.
Yeah, David Anderson Kirk. How many mods does this channel need? Good Lord, I don't know. We can. If I see that you commented during the Lornography or if you put comments on there, I gave you a wrench because you understand the humor. And that is the entire point of the mod status. I don't want anyone banned. I don't want anyone remove their comments because there's a lot of Lorne humor here. So if that answers your question,
I mean, that's
David
the irony is you probably don't need any mods, but.
Yes, I will begin removing mods tomorrow. Dun, 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 dun.
Maybe not tomorrow. Now might be a good time to keep them.
Just going on a rage tomorrow. Everyone is your wrenches are gone. Goodbye, wrenches. From my cold dead hands. All right. Thank you, Suma, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Again, we will be back tomorrow night with a recap. Hopefully I can get it out earlier in time for a 6:15 Pacific start, so we're not as late. Apologies to everyone that can't make it, where it's just the nature of the beast, because I can't rip the video until it's done streaming with the trial. So I have to wait until the entire thing's done, and then it has to process before I can rip it. So thank you, everyone. Everyone, remember to delete your archives.
Yes, I mean, especially after tonight. By all means, for the love of God, delete your archives.
Yes. Kiss your finger, hard eyes, kiss your face, rose, big smile. Bye.